Ooh, welcome to the scary bonus episode of JOKAKAKA. I am Jim. What's Sam? Who are you?
I'm the Kappa Sam.
I'm trying to.
I'm encrypted.
In the Simpsons, the Halloween specials, they would always do like Matt booning or whatever. They would. That was a bad one. I would be like splat groaning. They do some like I am Jim Scrotus.
Kill Kim.
Kill. There's no good one. So
Jimenstein.
Thank you very much for joining us on this spooky Halloween episode, a little bonus episode of JOKAKAKA. We're here to talk about two things.
One pick from me and pick from Jim. Like, you know, we need a hiatus this month from JoJo, so in the spooky month, we kind of did this. We did this last year with Digital Circus, didn't we?
We did a Digital Circus and Uzumaki.
Yes, episode 1 of Uzumaki.
The only good one.
Yes. So yeah, this time we got something, I guess, both from stuff that we watched, because I never watched Jim's pick and he never watched my pick, so This is what we're doing.
So first, we just watched the first 3 episodes of the anime Shiki.
Yes, and after this, we're talking about my pick, which is Hellsing Ultimate or Hellsing OVA, as it all in things, but the other Hellsing one. So
this so first we're gonna talk about Shiki. So Shiki is a series from 2010. If you're not aware of it,
this thing I think I heard the name of. I knew nothing from. Maybe I just saw like the poster of like the girl that looks like a doll.
Yeah, pretty iconic imagery. So Shiki is a horror psychological whatever your classic scary thriller anime series from 2010.
Which it doesn't look. You would believe it and not believe at the same time, because you can believe like early 2000s with like the designs.
It really feels like early 2000s designs, and I say that lovingly.
And I said this before we recorded, where like I got like this anime version of like kind of a Twin Peaks, where like it is like horror stuff in it, but like the mystery and like the small town mystery is like in like a. You don't really know there's multiple protagonists. That's the only difference. There isn't like a central character trying to find a mystery. It's a bunch of characters, but there are
Twin Peaks is kind of like that too, though. I mean, Agent Dale Cooper is only one character out of many characters.
He's like a definitive main character. Where he's our definitive main
not
character,
really.
Like the Doctor. He's always felt like
he's not the. Have you seen Twin Peaks?
Nope.
So yeah, no.
Everything I got from the outside looking in, it felt like he was like the definitive.
Like many people, I stopped watching Twin Peaks halfway through season 2 because it gets kind of boring. Season 1, I mean, you could say he's a protagonist, but like Twin Peaks. It's a similar story to this, where we're following a lot of different groups of people. You've kind of got different like little mini sort of
there are characters and
sets of groups that interact.
Everybody has a pair up usually, but like something can happen. They can intersect. Some character will introduce for like one episode and then be gone, or like this character's obviously set up to like out of nowhere. Like this is a character I didn't expect to be following a little bit for.
So it's a really great series. So I've seen it. I watched it years ago. I got it recommended to me. It's one of these anime that like I think it's so fucking good that I can't believe people don't talk about it more.
It's very interesting. I think it does tell us best about with you, but like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of like these like really good mystery, like designed to be a mystery, like anime or mangas, like or books.
Or whenever
this is a book, not even a light novel. It's just a straight up book.
So Shiki was a book. It was written as Sam said, not a light novel. It was written released in 1998.
Yes.
And so just to give a little background, so we don't want to go into like any super duper spoilers.
We only watched the first 3 episodes, but I do kind of want to watch more.
I'm not going to spoil anything later, obviously, but as you can kind of get into the first 3 episodes, you kind of get an understanding of like what's going on. But so we'll build up to it a bit, but it's really this cool story about a sort of mystery epidemic that's going on in this small rural town in Japan.
People are dropping dead from like the same thing that they visited this town. Even people that visit town and left, like they are contracting something that they seem like nothing physically wrong with them, but they seem to drop dead from like heart failure or kidney failure or something like that.
And mysteriously, a new family has come to town, and they knocked down the old Japanese-style castle and built a Western-style mansion, a la something out of Castlevania or something.
It's very like menacing, and
of course, it also overlooks the little rural town they live in.
Yes, and like the designs are very like every character had like the main character have like unique designs to them. A lot of people have very pointy chins, but some characters have like really realistic like double chins and stuff like that.
There is this really crazy thing where like early on there's a shot where two cops are talking to a monk, who the monk is like a primary character.
Yes.
And one cop looks like, you said it out loud, like looks like he's from a Pokemon game.
Yes.
Then the other cop looks like he's from like a fucking like what's his face? Oh my god, like something way more realistic.
Like and like there's like we see like the first time seeing like the guy who like the father of like the mansion owner, and like he looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain of the week.
Totally, his
like,
eyes are, his hair is like crazy.
Like he's matched up like his archetype, Yu-Gi-Oh archetype of like having a very show off or like like the performer pal or like the abyss actor, something like really like they're flashy and like acting based, or like, it's very like design based off design. It's very funny, like the all like different stuff. Like the one girl's like she's like if like Steins Gate fused with like Perona from One Piece. The first
yeah.
we beat,
So
like,
Megami is kind of the, I would say the main character of the first episode.
From the catalyst of like the whole episode where like it sets the Doctor off on like the path of like figuring this out.
Yeah.
Like, the what's the girl in Twin Peaks that's like
Laura Palmer.
Yes, like the equivalent of that. Of, like,
she is kind of. It is really funny you say that because like she is kind of a Laura Palmer here.
She sets off everything.
Except Laura Palmer, I think if I remember correctly, she's dead. Like in the first scene.
Yes, but she also is technically her.
Technically, Megami is also.
And Laura Palmer, I think, gets a background prequel movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
But like, kind of get to follow the thing. And like, this show, like, you go every day. Like, it starts off like the flash forward of like her body, and then we kind of flash back to like leading up to that. We kind of get some of the basic cast. Like we get like the city student that's like a dick and she stalks.
Yes, there are so many other tertiary characters here, but how they connect is what's really interesting.
Her friend,
so Megami is like super out of place in this small town. Like all the people, like I love they keep doing this thing where they show like people in the fields, people on tractors, and they always will be gossiping. It's like the small town gossip, and
or like straight up like make fun of her for dressing in like a fancy. Like,
yeah, so she has pink hair. She dresses. She has these great outfits.
She like dresses in combat boots. She'll have like the little umbrella, like very like the Perona umbrella.
Yeah, she's I think she's 15. And she's very much like, I can't wait to get out of this town, go to Tokyo, get signed,
become an idol.
Become an idol, basically. And of course, she's obsessed with the transfer student, who is a kid that lived in the big city, but now he's out the country and he hates it.
He just ignores her.
Gee, living in the country sure is boring.
They'll never say that. Would never say that.
And yeah, so she stalks him at night, which is really cool.
Very creepy.
Really
Even
cool.
He's like, oh, I can finally leave my window open when she goes away.
One of the moments I love so much is because we get like just several days of her kind of existing in the town and learning the town.
Primarily, like we get a little bit of other characters like the Doctor. And like the Doctor and Monk are like the other two like main focus of like these past 3 episodes, and like.
But yeah, through Megami we see just basically like what the town is like. We see her childhood friend who is Megami has lived here her whole life.
Yes.
This other girl too, totally different. Like Megami is so bitter and like hates everyone, hates the town. This other girl is just like, I'm fine living here.
The book was like 98, you said?
Yeah.
Which is like, it reminded me of like with what's it called? Like other than like Scream, where like, oh, you have a very notable like actors, but this time like very notable character design, and then you just take them out right away, and like, no, that's not our main character. We think it's our main character of the series. We're gonna follow her, but no, she's not. It's the characters that are gonna react to everything from that, and I kind of love that. It's
really cool because I think Megami really draws you in as a viewer because she's so like. She's loud. Like the colors are really good with this series.
The outspoken citizen of the town that's like, I want to get out, and this is like, this is what I'm dealing with, kind of stuff. And then, but now you kind of get that same point of view with the transfer student, like the city student. We follow him, and he's like, I don't like these people gossiping. Like they like talk crap about me. I can hear about like my parents having 2 different last names, and they don't understand that.
Yeah. So something that's like super non-traditional, whereas like this is like as traditional as you can get as a Japanese experience.
And he doesn't want to like talk to anybody or friend anybody. He only befriends like one guy, like a senior that like
basically forces him to be his friend
by like being the only guy who could change his tire because he doesn't want to learn.
Yeah. And it's really, I don't know, the characters are I think really well like they're really well drawn, and in terms of like how they're rendered, I want to say like the characters are very complex and in at least like how they interact with each other.
I told Jim it's very much like like a Steins Gate, visual. It felt like a visual novel. I think
it really does. Yeah,
where, you can hit a button and you pull up like the lore or character bios, and like very corkboard like anime or manga or story. Just like you need to have like all of, like the lines, the yarn to each other, like what they do, like the team ups, like how they. It's feeling like a very detailed version of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So we're only gonna talk about spoilers for the first 3 episodes, and it's really neat because like as you go through the series, it really branches out and gives you more characters. Like you even caught early on they show. Because they talk about early on, they talk about how this town really only exists to make like headstones or like the special Japanese fir tree that they make headstones out of.
A town like basically like thrives on death, and a lot of death is now happening inside the town. And
that character who's like the main plant owner for the lumber,
mill.
He initially it just comes in as like a little quick scene where he talks about it, but then he comes back later in like a way more of an important role where his sister ends up getting this ailment and ends up dying.
Another thing, like we see him like in the he's like the guy talking to like the back of the head of like the lady that the mother or the wife I guess that lived in the mansion too. So like that's the only brief glimpse of like the one childhood friend like met her for a second.
I think it does flashbacks really well. Flashbacks in this series, I don't know why my brain is comparing this to Game of Thrones. I think when I first read Game of Thrones, I was also, it might have been the same time I watched this for the first time. So my brain probably just connected them perfectly.
And like my brain's like trying to do, it's like not as detailed but Attack on Titan, because like that was like the last mystery kind of thing that I was like focused on.
I think we were kind of talking about this recently where like I really crave like a longer form anime show like this, like Attack on Titan. Yeah, Attack on Titan and Code Geass were two. Code Geass isn't really a mystery, but it's like this really tightly written like longer form series where you can get to spend a lot of time with a lot of characters, and I just love series like that, and Cheeky is a perfect one of those where also we're talking about this too, I love small town stories. Like Part 4 JoJo is such a good example of like we kind of have this really not a confined area, but it's like everyone lives here, like you're gonna see the same people around, everyone's kind of in each other's business. I love stories like that. I think because you just get to see characters interact with everybody. Like eventually you get to see how everyone thinks about everyone else.
You get a lot of Junji Ito vibes, a lot of stuff like small town as well, and like some of like the people in their deathbed looks like some of them have really had like that distorted like head.
Really creepy. And it's funny because like Megumi and a lot of the other main character girls are like kawaii, like they're cute. Kawaii, not kawaii.
I love the nurse design so much.
The nurse is cute, they're all cute, but then like when the people who are dying, like especially these sort of NPC characters,
they don't pretty up death.
No, they draw them very like realistic, and the way I can't remember his name. He did Paprika. Satoshi Kon. The way that sort of like Satoshi Kon characters look, Tokyo Godfathers is an example. It feels like they have more of that sort of realism in those designs, and when they die, they really heighten up the grotesque nature of it. It's really cool.
The one with the rotting corpses, and you have like the maggots and like
so that's like the first like big event is that
the first big mystery of like this could be why did the wife die last? And,
so it was
living with corpses the entire time.
A family that had died, and a dog. It said they think that wild dogs came in and ripped up most of the corpses, which are grotesque looking. It's kind of crazy they get away with some of the imagery in this. And then the
doofiest looking dogs when we see throughout this, like
but then we see that the whole thing is like, okay, well, there was a woman there. Like, why did this woman in pristine condition die days after these rotting corpses that got ripped up by dogs? So they really start to bring in a lot of just really fun mystery, and like anytime that like anyone's out at night, you're just like, oh my god, this is so scary. And it's funny because if you think about like, I mean, maybe it's different if you're a woman, but if you're a man and you're out in like rural, if you're just out in like, I don't know, a place that you've always lived in, just kind of middle of nowhere, you don't really think about like danger. You don't think about maybe wild animals, but you wouldn't think like, someone's gonna come up and kill me. But like we have a scene at the last scene that we just watched at the end of the 3rd episode where the main character Kun, best friend, goes out to like a vending machine, and it's terrifying because we know that like the guy he's talking to it's
related to whoever the new people in town,
some kind of horrible monster,
which I think you ask me like, what do you think they are? I'm like, I was thinking vampires or like energy vampires, because like they're not really like sucking the blood out. They're just like, there are like bug marks that appear to be like vampire marks, but like energy vampires feel to be the thing because they kind of just drain them of their life, essentially. Yeah,
that's the scariest thing is like, I don't know, in movies, whenever people get drained, it feels like they either just become like thrall zombies or they die. But in this, it's like when they're drained, it's like this really slow, like scary death. Like the scene when you from Megami's perspective after when she's like lying basically on her deathbed and she's like losing the ability to even like hear and like it's like a black filter going over. It's so scary. It's really scary. Megami is like such a great tragic character for me. I love Megami because she's such a like innocent girl that dies just because she's like kind of a little curious and sassy.
She's a little stalker.
Yeah, she's definitely going through some shit. But like all she really did the last time that anyone saw her was her going up to this mansion and then the door opening, and so clearly the people got to her, whoever the new family is, and
the brief we got both like all three of them who appear, and they all like I noticed like. Because like, you kept the monk meets the little girl, and she's like completely lit up. Same thing with the mother and father, like lit up completely, while the other person's still like dim.
There's like a yellow, or not a yellow. There's like a white halo around them in the scenes when they're outdoors. It's really cool looking.
They always had like stand in shadows. It looks like it's very vampire-esque. But like the women, like the daughter and like the wife, both have like no irises. Where like they do a very the character design is very like they have to show the irises. So you can see their eyes, very detailed. Very intentional, but they don't show, they just have like blob eyes.
Which are really iconic. I love the way they look. They're so creepy.
With heavy eyelashes on both up and down.
And it's cool because like the eyes are so black that the eyelashes kind of bleed into it. So it's like you can't even quite tell if you can see any sort of like white part.
On the daughter, you kind of can maybe notice like a little bit of white. Like maybe she's like the weird hybrid. Because like, the father is like doesn't like has his eyes. Like, maybe he's the only one that's like he's a human. And I kind of made like a comparison. Like, okay, like the foreign student, the guy from the city, like. His parents had two different last name, and like and this is kind of maybe a mirror to like them being like a human and they like whoever spawned this
it's evil,
and they had like a weird like love no matter what, like despite that, and had a child, like something weird like that. And they're from Europe. I don't know. Europeans are weird.
Well, are they from Europe? That's my question. Because like they're called like Kawashiki.
I think
they are. It sounds like they are Japanese.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, it's also possible that he took like the last name.
European otakus.
I mean, they clearly are. Like they built a mansion like a castle.
The little girl visited the monk and like I'm a big fan of your books.
So okay, I fucking love this scene. So the first time we see the daughter of the new family,
not in the OP, which is great by the way.
She's an OP.
No, the OP.
Oh, that's not in the. Yeah, no, the OP is awesome. I fucking love the OP.
All the time.
Yes. No, yeah, the first time we actually see her in the show, she goes at night, of course, to the monk.
At night.
And yeah, she's like, oh my god, I love your books, because we see him like writing something, and he's like got this super like.
Did he say name drop the show?
He does name drop the show, yeah. And apparently, and I didn't know this until just looking now, Shiki does mean like what is it, corpse monster?
Corpse demon? You think you said?
Corpse demon is what Shiki is. But yeah, so I love this scene because. He's like taken aback that this little girl has read his like what seem to be pretty terrifying and grotesque novels about like so he's a Buddhist monk.
Yes.
I'm assuming a Buddhist. He must be Buddhist, right?
And we kind of see like cuts on his wrist, so maybe at one point he like tried to commit suicide and then kind of like survived and then tried to like.
Yeah. So it's really observant that she sees that he has a scar there, and because she makes a reference to like, hey, like, oh, I see your scar. Like scars like that don't ever work.
And we kind of get like a weird thing.
It's really cool
with a scar too, because like the transfer student had like a shirt that looks like a scar on his back.
He did have that, yeah, weird.
It's a very like illusion.
It's like he's a target.
Illusion to something maybe, or like he's always turning his back on like other people to like not get close to him, like he did with the with Megami, where like he always turned his back and like turn around.
Yeah.
And he kind of like the only person he turned his front to was like the senior guy essentially. Like
yeah,
I guess
he's the only
nurse
one.
too. He kind of like warmed up to the nurse a little bit.
Yeah.
So
it's funny though, because like there's a thing with the transfer student where he seemed at one point to have introduced himself with his first name, and people call him that, and he gets mad and says like, no, call me by my last name. Like, so he doesn't want to get too personal.
Yes.
He doesn't want to get too chummy. He wants to go out, but clearly he's like. He's definitely friends with this one kid.
Kind of stopped at the girl at her funeral, and like despite leaving right away and not accepting her like keepsake to him.
Yeah.
Like
there's just it's really dense. That's why I like this show. It's like all these character relations are really, really well drawn out, and we kind of talked about the Doctor. The Doctor's kind of like the driving force here.
Also, the Doctor looks like the main character of like the original Digimon, but grown up. The hair. But...
Remember him from Digimon? This is him now.
Him now. I feel old.
Yeah, so he's the one that really is starting to
piece together everything.
Yeah, and he's taking more of an active role of like him and the monk. It's really interesting that the monk comes to him too and is like, look, there are like way more deaths here than normal.
I'm doing way too many funerals. Like,
dude, I'm getting tired of this shit.
Yeah.
I have to lower them in the lower the casket every time.
Dig so many holes.
It's really cool. I love the shifting perspective. I remember why I love the show so much. And we haven't really talked about the style of it. Like the editing is so goofy and in a way that like touches me deeply.
There are hard cuts, like not even like transitions, it just like goes right into it.
It takes big swings. I would say it takes a lot of big swings. It doesn't always hit. Like there's a part I know you laughed at where the main character transfer student kid is like in his bedroom writing out, and you hear like this sort of like vocal like
that was like so weird.
And at first I was like, oh, is he listening to music? But he's not. He has no headphones in.
Writing.
And then it like stops abruptly, and then it like he looks away, or he looks at like the window where the girl would always stalk him, and then it starts up again, and then it just cuts like suddenly.
There's like one noise. He thought your dog was like.
Yes. Oh my god. It was some instrument that maybe it's like a traditional thing they play at the ceremonies, and I got up because it sounded like when if you have a dog and you know what they sound like when they throw up, it sounded just like it, and I freaked out, fight or flight moment there. But it takes a lot of swings. I love it. I love the way
the music is pretty good too.
I fucking love the music.
I'm only three episodes.
Good.
I'm very intrigued. Like I like a good mystery, especially like, I don't get this in anime manga form.
It's like too good for anime.
Like some things manga and stuff like have like overarching mysteries, but like this is like the whole thing set around the mystery. Like this is what we wanted like part 8 to really like go heavy
so
on.
True. The problem is that too, like a lot of the manga that I'm reading and a lot of the manga that gets popular and shared, it's always like combat or fighting. Like it's rarely like a story like this isn't the kind of thing where people are gonna throw down hands. Like this is a very like slow burn.
Yes.
We're trying to get to the bottom of what's happening and
we're gonna get to that
save
with the
people.
My pick when we get like Vampire
just falls to the wall. Yeah.
This is also the scratch our itch because we watch Vampire Hunter D, both of them. This is also gonna like go into that kind of thing of just cool shit, but like also some great. I'm curious to see what you see with the Hellsing character designs when we get to that.
I like them. I've seen the main girl.
You see the police girl.
And I know obviously what Alucard looks like. I find them just to be charming in like the early 2000s design way.
This is why I'm excited to do that because we had that like late 90s, early 2000s style.
Now that I'm an old fuck, things that I might not have liked back in the past, I'm like, aww.
We've been going back and watching a lot of stuff that like make us appreciate a lot of the styles and like character designs.
And yeah, I mean, if something has like a really like that's one thing I love about Shiki. Like the style just is so iconic. Like the characters stand out so much.
I do want to talk about the weird character we got introduced to and like had a little focus on of like one of the weird like friends of the transfer student's senior friend. Like it was like so I listened to like the Eye Patch Wolf Wooly podcast like, versus Wolf, and they talk about a character archetype called like Snake Coon, which is like the guy who looks the most evil snake-like person. Goes, you can trust me, main character. I am your good friend.
He's very much like
that.
And
he's gonna hiss a little bit, you think, and then like, oh no, this guy's like gonna shoot up a school. He's like one bad day away from like shooting up, telling us to come to school tomorrow. Like it's crazy.
So I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. It's like
I think Masio.
Yes, I think it's Masio. So he is introduced.
Somehow I remember his name.
Yeah, right. He's introduced as hating the main character for like no reason.
Transfer student because he's also like that seems to be like taking away his friend, like taking his side.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Being jealous, like he's very bad. Like he doesn't like other people.
He seems to have some very severe personality issues.
Yes.
Like there's a scene where he, as a child, he talked to his brother's new fiance or wife,
girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, and he like. I actually really love this little depiction. Like she touches his arm like jokingly, and it shows him like staring at where she touched, and it's like this sort of black hole effect, like as if like that touch was just too much for him to handle, and it's like that's all he can focus on.
And he doesn't have a really good opinion of himself either, where he's like, you will not like me, you do not like me. He's like, no, it's too early for me to really judge that. I really just like met you. He's like, no, you hate me, you will hate me.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's like that for anyone who's not super close to him, because like that was a childhood friend, so like he's cool with him. But like when the new guy comes away, thinking like gonna take him away from me because I'm not good, and he's gonna take his side.
So it's funny you said Snake Coon. I feel like in anime that I've seen and like other depictions, he like this kind of look is like like a fox generally.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like in Pompoko, they've got like the fox characters. With like the sort of longer face, like very long neck. I think it's supposed to be like a mischievous sort of like
very
indicator
to the Orochimaru like snake face and like the fox. Both things that are gonna like go out and just try to trick you or bite you. Like one's gonna be more dangerous than the other, but like they're all like you can trust. We're both gonna like try to trick you, just like get wrap around you and like.
Yeah, he's a little bit of worm tongue too, Grima worm tongue.
There's definitely a guy that got one bad day away from like. Like he's gonna get super paranoid and like do the worst thing possible. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's kind of a ticking time bomb.
So his little brother, or no, he's not his little brother, his nephew.
Yes.
Yeah. And comes in there, like kind of steals his grandpa away from him, and like he's like, I hate this.
Yeah, you can tell.
My Legos.
You can tell he was trying to connect with his grandfather, and then it got taken away from him. So I think he's a really interesting character too, because like. We get the scene he's introduced in, like the last scene we see him in is him like happily running to main character Kun's friend.
Guess who's dead?
To be like, look, guess who died today? It was this bitch. And then he gets in a fight with the main character because he's there. Well, the transfer student.
While he's playing like fucking super like the 99-1 game, not even
beeping and booping. But it's I really think that's interesting. Like this guy, he's just must have like anti-personality. What do they call it? Anti-personnel disorder. What do they call that?
It's like very bad though. Like that boy needs therapy, and he ain't getting this in this small town.
No, he's not getting it in this small town.
For a small town, the doctor's clinic is pretty like stacked up. It feels like finally, but.
It's also funny to watch this after COVID, just because like
this is like an epidemic thing happening, but like let's keep interacting with people.
Yeah, and also just the fact that like the delay of action and how when the doctor goes to inspect Megami when she's we kind of misspoke. Megami's found in the forest. But she's not dead, and it takes her like several days to actually die, and she's so weak she can't move anything. So when he first like does his inspection on her or his investigation on her, whatever they call that, there's no wounds. There's nothing.
Like they say later, but very backward. Like there's a few bug bites, but you don't show it. It's very like
it's very
thrown out line.
Very tricky that they do that. Yeah.
Because they went until later to like the girl, the what's it called, the sister of like the
of the wood
the mill owner, and and it's like, oh wait, these are also bug bites that are like weird, like really puncture wounds,
and it looks very much like vampire bites. But so
I do love that, like a really good like, okay, now he's figuring out and they're connecting up. Oh, they met the weird people from the mansion. Like she went up, Megami went up to there and like maybe connect them somehow more and more. And like another thing we noticed when they showed them was like they invited them in to stop by anytime.
Yes.
It's a very big vampire rule of like inviting them in, but it's so weird they don't knock at the door. They're just like in general, like later on they can come by. Like, oh, I'll bring a friend too.
Yeah, it's
or bring your daughter or whatever too.
Really tricky. It's really cool. So going back to like when he's like doing the examination on Megamine, not Megamine, that's Konosuba. He takes her blood for a blood test, but he doesn't get it for a few days because they're just like a rural doctor's office. But by that time, it's too late. Like she dies the next day. So then it doesn't even take him until like I think speaking to the monk again. Well, no. So the real key was he talked to like a census,
like a public health worker, and like
who instead of faxing it to him, which he probably should have fucking faxed it.
I'd probably been quicker knowing the connection.
He drove out on a motorbike to basically say like, look, there are deaths that you're not aware of for a few reasons.
They visited here. There are similar cases. Like and it's horrifying. I love it.
It's really scary too because like
it's not traditional horror.
You don't really know what you can do, and put yourself in like. The monk is very concerned about this. What can a monk do? Like he goes to the doctor because that's like the only authority, and then the doctor is now taking like this is my town. Like you're not gonna kill my town.
Well, in that moment too, he's like, "What's wrong with it?" Like I don't know. There's like nothing wrong with it. Like, did I fail at the doctor? Did I misdiagnosis? Or like, is there something I'm missing here?
And I love he's always smoking too. I fucking love a smoking doctor.
Really cool stuff, like when the ash fall off the cigarette, where he's then not like actually inhaling and it's just like burning and like he's like thinking hard. I kind of love that small detail.
It's really fucking good. They were fucking cooking with Shiki, and I love it.
It's cool. I like this. I'm surprised it wasn't like, I guess this is a couple years before the big Netflix anime boom. Like, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's really funny. This would have killed on Netflix. Like
if it dropped when, like, the huge Netflix boom, like, anime boom happened, it was, like, on there, like, with Soul Eater and everything. Like,
yeah. It was on Crunchyroll for a while. Now
yeah.
it's hilariously. I wanted to talk about this.
I figured out the shithole.
Hilariously, it's illegal everywhere. Well, not illegal, but you can't stream it legally, which is fucking stupid. But some fucking hero.
This guy, epic.
This guy, fucking epic.
Fucking epic.
It's all on YouTube. Which it's funny. The dub, yeah. Which honestly, I have to say, not a terrible dub.
Not a terrible dub, but you know,
some voices are better than others.
I'm a big subtitle fan guy, so that just I can keep track of everything and notice like little details in the dialogue.
Yeah.
That's why I like Attack on Titan, just to like keep track of everything. And especially stuff I'm not paying attention to the action of that one. I
can't even imagine watching dub Attack on Titan. I'm just so used to the raw rips, the raw Japanese rips.
Yeah, they get like the Armor Titan reveal and like a dub where I'm like don't see the little dialogue thing in the background or something like that.
I fucking love Attack on Titan.
But yeah, like I said, I haven't got a good like mystery that like really hooked me like this, and like a whole thing. It's like not horror and like spooky imagery, jump scare people like like another or whatever that people just die in hilarious ways. Right? This is like actually like an overarching mystery more than horror. But
that's why I think it is. It's to me, it's horror in the way that there is a mysterious like unknowable thing that is attacking the small community, and they don't know how to fight it. I think that's horrific. That's in a way that is like so scary to think about.
Yeah, well, as I said, you compare Japanese horror to a lot of American horror, where a lot of it's just like jump scare horror and like movies or like
American
movies and shows like a lot of like horror and like
I would say it's a jump scare heavy. I would say it's jump scare heavy.
Yeah. But like this one's it's like overarching dread kind of thing.
Yes,
like,
dread is a good word.
Junji Ito kind of does like have like horrific images when you turn the page. Like he does like
he kind of does do jump scares.
He's the master of that. But his art is so like unique though. It's not just like
he's really impactful. Yeah,
jump scare or loud sound effect. It's just look at this fucked up thing that I dreamed about.
Because then you have to sit with it. That's what's so good about a manga is that like you have to be the one that turns the page next. Like you have to sit with it, you have to confront what you're looking at, and then you can move on.
It's very hard to do like scares in like a manga form. Like even like it's not a lot of animes did like horror like just like center around that. Like I'm not sure how easy to do that being scary. Like I've seen a Junji Ito animation where like 99% of them have been awful.
Yeah, that's why like for me horror anime is so rare when it's done right, and Shiki is like so fucking good. I love the vibes. I love the animation style, and the editing is so like me.
Yeah,
it's really it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I like it because it's for me or if it just was super impactful when I watched it and it just stuck in my brain.
Maybe me with like your archetype, your favorite like anime manga archetype of just the bitch girl, pink haired.
She's pink haired bitch girl.
Like Utena, like the mean. She's kind of mean, unpleasant to her friends.
Utena's not really unpleasant.
No. Was it Nanami or whatever her name? Little blonde haired girl. That's like.
Oh, I do love Nanami. Yeah, even though she drowns puppies. Yeah, I love a stupid dumb.
You would love Arya and Dan to Dance so much. It's how much of it you like bitchy pink haired character.
I love a dumb blonde bitch.
But like
I can't help myself.
Like there's just a scene that like they just spent in Dan season 2 where she's just like her makeup like beauty routine in the morning. I'm like, you have to go as hard as animating just like a beauty so again their bitchy beauty scene up there.
That's funny.
But like no, I'm like it's like I said, that's like not much. I don't like that stuff anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably so much manga you don't really know what's horror really anymore.
I've read a lot of horror manga. Maybe not a lot, but like that's definitely like something that an area that I really enjoy, and so much of the time it just gets so like over the top gory and graphic. This does, but it keeps like a pretty good realism to it.
Because in Japan doesn't really know how to do like a Junji Ito or something like that. Like they just do like go crazy on the gore, and that's like their horror stuff. It's just look at these characters getting sliced up in this crazy way. And
it's very easy to, I think, to kind of heighten things, and especially in manga, to be like, oh, we're gonna make it crazier and bloodier, and like Elfen Lied is a really good example of like just insane over the top like gore. We can go crazy with this shit. And
a lot of like, Japanese horror like live action movie wise is very over the top kind of stuff like that too, but like I guess you can have like what's called like Grudge and, I would say
the first Ring is pretty tame actually. Ringu.
Yeah, I guess
that one's pretty tame.
I'm not sure about Ringu, but a lot of like
have you seen Ringu?
I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but like
I watched it a couple years back.
The original Ring, like the American one, ages ago.
I watched that when I was a kid, and I thought it was a little scary, but I never really quite understood.
Her coming at the TV is a really cool image, but
I think like the concept of the Ring is way cooler than like the execution of the movie. Ringu or the Ring, like I don't really care for either. I watched the original Ju-on, which is the Grudge.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. It felt like a super low budget movie, which was
probably
neat.
Was.
I really appreciated it from like that standpoint.
Do you know about like what the House or Houseu?
I fucking love Houseu.
I heard about that. I heard that's like a
you should watch Houseu.
I haven't watched a lot of horror. I feel like I've been like really bad watching horror.
It's really funny to me. Houseu is like hardly even horror. Houseu, I could talk for 10,000 years about Houseu. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I listened to a podcast like a while ago. They talked about it. It was like Eye Patch Wolf and Wooly were on like Pondering Spooky Taste about it, and I was like, oh, it sounds like really cool. Like very, it's like thing I would watch just like for like the visual, like how they do practical effects.
Oh, you would love it. Yeah,
like that was basically
the whole movie is like how much fun can we just have with scenes? Like I don't want to spoil too much of it, but there's sequences in that movie that like blow my mind at how creative they are. Like there's a part where all these girls are, it's like really happy. They're going to,
like I know about like a piano scene.
Oh yeah, that's like a really iconic scene. That one, that part's fun, but it's a really innocuous part early on where all the girls are going out to like the bathhouse. I think it's like an onsen, traditional, like whatever. They're going out and they have to go far out in the country. So they get in a bus and they give us the backstory about the family because it's one of the girls like aunties.
Yeah.
And they give us the backstory and we see like black and white, like the aspect ratio changes, it turns black and white, and you see like the husband was like a young Japanese soldier going off, and as we're seeing like the little film reel, like all the sound effects, all the girls on the bus, who the girl is telling the story, they're like commenting on it as if they're watching a video, and they're like, oh wow, her hair is so pretty. And it's just things like that are just so
like a weird fourth wall break.
Yes, it's the whole movie is just all like the first scene literally like breaks the fourth wall. It's amazing.
We should, as I had, we probably will do like some kind of horror watch through because of Halloween, or we have weeks. Maybe we should watch.
If you want to watch Houseu, I would gladly. It's on Criterion, so we can watch it pretty easy.
But
I fucking love Houseu.
But yeah, I just like I would love to get back more into horror, but I just like I don't like jump scare. Like I do jump easily, but I think it always just feels like under. I'm like, oh, you just made a really loud noise just like to make me jump. I'm like, I don't feel like you earned that one.
No, I feel that.
I like that dread horror, that stuff you see in the background. That's not like it's unsettling horror kind of stuff. It's not just like look at this loud noise or look at this gore. Like,
we're not really talking about Shiki anymore, but I do want to mention I watched a couple of Japanese horror movies lately. I watched a movie called Onibaba. Did we talk about this?
I don't think so.
I watched a movie called Onibaba, which was fucking amazing. This was a movie from the 60s. It's in black and white, and it's set in like a feudal Japanese like interwar period. And the main characters are just a mother and a daughter. Actually, it's a daughter and a stepmother. So their son went off to fight in a war, and he hasn't been back in a while. And they live in super poverty because they just live in a land that's just been ransacked by samurai. So they make a living by like setting up traps and then capturing and killing samurai and stealing their swords and shit and selling it just so they can survive. And then it just becomes this crazy like urban legend-y tale, but it's so really interesting and scary and cool. And like it's set in like these huge reed fields. Like the whole movie, it's gorgeous black and white film. I fucking love that movie. It's so cool. And it's got this really cool like a different type of horror to it, not like oh my gosh, like I touched the bones and this evil spirit's coming. It's more of like a very like these people live in hell, like living in this period of time in Japan as a woman
alone, like
is just horrible and terrible. And then the other one I watched was Kuroneko, which is kind of a similar plot where it is
with a cat.
It's kind of similar. No, but so it's how can I explain Kuroneko?
You gotta tell me. I don't know.
So it's also another movie set in like sort of a feudal Japan period. It's about a woman. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's essentially it's a woman and her daughter getting revenge because I think it was a similar relation where it was like the woman, the daughter was married to a man. He went to war and was killed, and then they get burnt. So their house gets, like, this is the first scene. Their house gets burned, and they get like raped and killed by samurai. Just like it's one of those things. Just like this is just the violence that was happening every day. So they come back as like vengeful spirits. Like there's a black cat that like gives them this power, the Kuroneko.
The crow, but with a cat?
I guess. But so what these women do is they hang out at night, one or the other. They'll hang out as a spirit in like the gate where like all of the nobles will go, because all these samurai are now, but now we won the war, so we have like all this money and we're nobles. So what they'll do is they'll lure them out to this like beautiful chateau they have, and then they kill them in like gruesome ways. Very cool story, really fucking cool story. Also just gorgeous black and white film. But yeah, so that's my horror. Some good horror recommendations from Jim if you want to watch some good old fashioned Japanese horror films.
I think the last horror movie I really watched was like, it was just a goofy one. It was like Death Kappa. That was like the goofy ass one.
You haven't seen One Cut of the Dead yet, have you?
No.
Ooh,
I haven't seen Train to Busan either.
One. Well, that's not a Japanese movie.
I know, but still, that's a good.
I haven't seen that one either.
Asian horror movie. I haven't seen that. Like people that you gotta see this one.
One Cut of the Dead is one that like not enough people talk about, but it's one that I don't want to say anything about. I will just say it's a one take movie.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
That is a fucking wild ride. I love that movie.
But yeah, I've been bad with horror, but I'm like,
I know, I'm trying to get myself into like a movie watching mood again, because I need to like force myself. But every time I do, I'm always like, oh yeah, I watched some real fucking Kino.
I just end up watching goofy horror. I gotta watch like Dark Place again, like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place again, which is goofy, like supposed to be like potentially bad horror, like TV show. So like, I don't know. I haven't gotten like serious horror in ages.
Well, yeah, Hausu is also not very serious.
I know, but still has like some horror like imagery.
Oh yeah, the imagery is fucking great.
Which is what I love. I don't want to see like just look at this gruesome gore, like this, I want to see the dread, the imagery, like
the creativity. Yeah, especially the creativity.
I did like growing up. I watched a lot of slasher movies, and I love to see like the kills, and like the scene behind the scenes stuff of how they did them. So like,
yeah, there's an appeal to those.
Yeah,
your sleepaway camps.
Sleepaway camps. Well, sleepaway camp is special.
Sleepaway Camp is very special.
Very, very special. That's my stupidly favorite ones.
I love Sleepaway Camp.
Yes. But yeah, Shiki's cool. I definitely do want to watch more.
Hell yeah.
I will definitely since we're done with watching Peacemaker, I will like gladly
fuck yes.
Watch this as like.
Okay, I will not. Because I was just gonna fucking binge it. So. We'll watch it together.
If you want just to see my reaction, or if you want my,
I would love to continue watching.
If you want to like watch ahead and just see my reaction to certain things, you can.
No, I wanna watch it with you. I think it'll be fun. Okay. If you're into it.
I'm into it unless something happens at a certain point that maybe the quality does get hit at a certain point. Like,
I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it stays pretty damn good.
Because if the reveal of the mystery can be let down, then like that could be a huge thing, and a lot of things suffer from the big reveal. So
the thing with Shiki, it's hard to recommend because it's a vampire story. I mean, like, let's be real, that's essentially what's going on here, and it's hard to recommend it that way because it's not really like the strength of it. It's the strengths of it as a story are not that it's a vampire story.
That's the town.
It's really just the way the story's told, like how I don't want to get too much into it.
What can the characters do against this like weird thing in
this
town?
Supernatural threat that's
can the monk fight back in like
can use holy powers?
One scene where he's like the little girl on the set, literally he was like reaching to his back for like I think he reached for like a crucifix or something like that, like or the rosary. Whatever he had like for the monk thing, it just seemed like he was like reaching for that. Like,
well, he was kind of hiding his scar.
He was hiding his scar, but I was like literally he was like reaching for something too. I'm like, oh, you gonna pull out like the rosary just to just to
throw
have
it
it
at
ready
her
just in case.
Hey, if you got those rosaries, I'll take them. I need to pay for some Hollow Knight upgrades.
Sure. I don't know Hollow Knight at all.
In a Silk Song, one of the currencies are rosaries because the whole New Kingdom's all like religion themed.
Interesting.
It's like a big religious citadel.
And you have to destroy the religion.
Basically.
But no, I'm liking it. I want to see where it goes. I want to see you don't know who's gonna live and die, so it's just cool.
That is one of the fun things.
And people are starting to drop like fly, and you guys see how can they combat them? Are they gonna like call in a Van Helsing, kill one of these Draculas? Are we getting Vampire Hunter D gonna show up on his like robotic horse?
If only Vampire Hunter D would just show up in every vampire story, that it would just be elevated every single time.
I need like an Avenger style team up of like all the Alucards.
All the Alucards.
Yeah, just like the Helsing one. Yeah. We'll get Alucard from Castlevania. I don't know. We're talking about like, Japanese horror. Like Japanese horror, the big, like mostly big from the game. That's probably their biggest. I feel like the biggest budget horrors would probably come from the video games and like. Cultural impact, I feel. Interesting. Like Resident Evil is like such a huge like impact. Silent Hill 2, like 1, 2 especially is like.
I think you mean Biohazard. Is Silent Hill called Silent Hill?
Biohazard is Resident Evil.
I know, yeah. Is Silent Hill just called Silent Hill in Japanese?
Yeah, and Silent Hill just had a huge like I guess comeback.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things. I've never touched a single game.
Good things. It's just very funny. Like people like how strong your main character is. She's just like can just fuck up like any monster. She's just that strong. She's like a high school girl. And I think the only explanation is like, oh, she was like the top of the track team. That's why she's just like can like side dash.
So it's
parry and,
Jujutsu Kaisen rules, literally.
Essentially, she's just like there's like so many funny gifs. Somebody made one of like her being a monster, then there's just doing like the Akuma like teleport around her to like meet her. It's very funny. But I think a lot of Japan had a huge impact from like their horror games.
Fatal Frame is another series.
Fatal Frame is a classic one. But I think also that's like a jump scare horror. But I think does like the Shiki thing of like look at this high fashion on these characters. Like,
yeah, it's not even just Megami. Like they really do give a lot of characters really fun costumes and varied costumes too.
I think
or outfits, I should say.
Like, we think of like horror games. You probably think of it as survival horror, like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You think of Silent Hill, like.
Castlevania, obviously.
Castlevania's not really it's like
they're horror games.
It's like action horror.
Yeah.
But like not like you're gonna get scared playing Castlevania.
I mean, have you seen that line where he says, "What is a man but a miserable pile of semen?" I mean, secrets.
Then he killed Luigi. He legit killed Luigi in that one trailer.
He did.
And I'm trying to, I'm just like thinking of like, I don't know. I just feel like, Japan has a lot of horror come from like very unique brain. Like PT was like one of the essential like horror video games from like probably like the 2010s. Like that was impactful.
Yeah.
And that was just for Silent Hill.
Yeah,
so
it was basically
Kojima.
Silent Hill,
he's doing it himself now. Remember that game was gonna have like Junji Ito work on it?
That was was like a.
Wasn't it that one?
That was kind of a rumor, I think.
I could have swore that was like one.
That was kind of like a fan rumor.
I could have swore that was like one of the things that was like.
It may have been. I don't know. Who knows? It feels like marketing at that point.
Knock, I think it's called now or whatever. That's like the new one with the white woman screaming, like
the Screaming Heads game. I'll wait until the game's actually out, and then maybe I'll pick it up. I still haven't played Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
I would say Death Stranding's got a lot of horror elements to it as well.
It's also like goofy horror as well. Like it has a lot of goofy stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, it's Kojima.
Kojimbo stuff.
Kojima can't help himself, but just have fun with things.
Yeah, because I was trying to remember. Like Resident Evil's like really the only like horror game I really play. Like.
Yeah, I am a baby. I don't like to play scary games. They scare me too much.
You're also just like grew up in like not the best time for a lot of horror games. I feel it wasn't until like after like our teenage years that we got the Xbox 360 era of like games we had. Of like,
well, there was the Condemned games were pretty damn scary.
The Darkness.
Darkness wasn't really scary.
But
Condemned actually was kind of scary.
I never played the Condemned games.
They actually were because they're very actiony. It's a first person action game.
It was the age of action horror. Like Fear was one of them.
Yeah, Fear. I never played Fear.
It was like all the scares were like jump scares, and then that one game with Alma does a horrible thing.
Yeah, I really don't know too much. I mean, you could even say like BioShock is kind of horror-y. You're like killing children in it.
You need the currency.
It's worth it. It doesn't make it not horror.
I mean, like even because like Resident Evil 4 jumped to
BioShock's
like action.
Definitely horror. It's like a survival horror game.
And then Resident Evil kind of jumped more to action. It wasn't until 7 we got back to like horror, more horror focus and action focus.
Yeah.
But like I just love Bashiki. It's just like, as I said, it is a slow burn. Like, it is a mystery in there, like straight up mystery, like horror. Like,
every time I like, we just finished an episode, I just want to see more. I just want to see more characters.
Let's watch one more. I think it was better for that because we got to see all the family for that.
Yeah, it really helps. Like I'm very much not a 1 episode test, or 3 episode test kind of guy. I think if a show's good,
it's a good sign where Jim did 2 episodes. Like, I want to watch one more.
Yes, I was at first I was like, oh, Sam's not gonna like this. My feelings are gonna be hurt. But no, he likes it.
I'm interested. That's what I'm worried about. Like I don't know about Hellsing. Like it's action horror stuff, but like they're hour-long episodes or 45-minute episodes. I'm not sure. Hopefully you can like deal with that in an anime.
I can. I fucking can. I mean, the first episode of Shield Hero notoriously was an hour long.
And
we loved
Fate Zero
it. And we
was
fucking
also
loved
like an
it.
hour-long first episode.
Oh yeah, I've never watched Fate Zero.
I watched the first episode of Fate Zero, and that was it. I was kind of bored because a lot of exposition.
So yeah, out there, this is only part 1.
Yeah,
it's a long ass part 1. I didn't think we were gonna talk this long.
You can combine both parts into one.
Oh yeah,
part.
they will be combined.
They won't even know.
They won't even know. Well, I'm telling you this now, but I do want to say before we talk about Hellsing in a few minutes, let me know if you've got some other good Japanese horror anime recommendations for me.
I guess anime.
Shiki is like the gold standard for a horror show.
Anime live action manga that maybe people wouldn't know about, or as like
specifically, don't give me like, oh no, they're like, obviously I've heard that before and I'm not watching it. Give me something that's real. Give me something that's not goofy ass. Like that's the problem. I don't want goofy ass.
I like the goofy ones, but I
goofy I hate the fucking thing so much. Like, I feel old when I see that.
Cause like
I mean I don't hate a goofy but sometimes a bitch boy just wants to watch something fucking serious. I think the show's actually pretty funny though. Like Shiki's got a little bit of humor to it, in terms of like the one part where when Megami dies, the main character's like, well, I guess I can leave my window open from now on. Yeah. I don't have to worry about her stalking me at night.
He still feels that like there's a ghost stalking him still. Yeah. Very funny.
I love that. I think that's really scary because like you are in the middle of nowhere. You're just out in fucking nowhere.
Like the bushes like
rustling
and everything.
The bushes rumbling. Got the Attack on Titan brain.
But yeah, very good. I'm anxious to see where it would go.
All right, yeah. So
should we cut and take a break and cut back to part 2 about Hellsing Ultimate?
All right. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take a big bag of chips. I'm gonna eat it.
Take a big dump.
I'm gonna take a big dump, and I'm gonna. No, but all right. See you soon.
See you soon.
Burn.
All right, we're here for part 2, which is the me choice, which is Hellsing Ultimate, which is a OVA from like 06. I think it said it went to like 2012. They were airing this, but this is something
released. Yeah,
I think I watched when like that big boom of like anime Netflix release, and like I think I haven't seen in a long time.
So you watched it on Netflix?
I think it was a Netflix or Hulu. It was one of those like, early streaming apps that I had, and I remember liking it a lot. It's very weird and actiony, but with a horror mix. But like, I haven't seen it in a while. I think last time I technically watched it was the abridged series with the Team 4-Star version.
Yeah, I was gonna say Team 4-Star did it, right?
Which is like a very famous like abridged series they did, not including DBZ. But and this is you never seen this, right?
I think I saw a little bit of the abridged series. I never watched any of Hellsing or Hellsing Ultimate before, so yeah, we're watching Hellsing Ultimate. I don't know if you said the name.
Yes,
is the OVA series.
Yes, and we watched the first 2 episodes because each episodes are like 45 minutes or so. And this was like an OVA series. So I
do want to say one thing. Yes. It's kind of funny the timing for when this came out. Like, OVAs still technically do exist, but
not like this.
Yeah, they don't really like OVAs were much more of like a boom and pre-depression
80s 90s
Japan.
VHS exchanging of like how you can find them and everything.
So it's really I'm interested into why this was specifically chosen.
I mean, it also got it's also like a brotherhood situation, like a FMA brotherhood where like there was an anime, like a 13 episode like 2001 series that from what I read or I heard about, it like covered like half of like the manga, then spun off into filler, not real material, and like not as well animated, of course. And so
you're gonna get some better budgets with an OVA.
Yes, and when I'm looking up like Hellsing Ultimate, like every 3 or 4 episodes was directed by a different person. There was 3 different studios apparently, from what I'm reading.
That's really interesting.
One of the 4 was Satelight, then Madhouse, then Graphinica. Which I've heard.
I only know Madhouse.
Yes, but Satelight. Let's see if I have to double check. There's a lot of things that let's see Satelight. I think I haven't really heard too much about before, but maybe it's like something like, oh, here's something you definitely should know. But so far, I haven't seen like anything. Oh, Fairy Tail.
I looked up the director.
There's 3 different directors, but the first one had a page, but I didn't like. Oh, I did Log Horizon. I love Log Horizon.
I looked up the director of the first few episodes because I got big Attack on Titan vibes with just the way that the characters were like, I don't know, like the direction, a lot of like the character color, not even just the design, but the way that like hatch marks were used gave me a bit of a like Attack on Titan vibe. Guy has nothing to do with Attack on Titan. He did, he's known for directing these episodes as well as Haibane Renmei, which is a series I've never seen. Yes. He also did one of the Maria Holic shows. He directed that. And apparently worked on Serial Experiments Lane, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, when I look at the Studio Dude episode that we covered, like a couple things I didn't really hear about before, but Log Horizon, which I love, which was one of those early animes that I watched when that boon happened, as well as you remember? I think this is the what's it called? They did the Red Ranger Isekai, which is like actually like I hear it.
Go Loser Ranger.
No, it's a different one, and the Gollum Dad anime.
Oh, Somali?
Yes,
Somalia or whatever it's
yes.
called. I think it's called Somali.
Yes, that we watched a little bit of, and we actually both loved.
I liked whatever we watched of that, 1 or 2 episodes. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, but that's like the main,
pretty good.
The main thing, and apparently did the opening animation production of Persona 2 Innocent Sin.
That's pretty funny. It is a pretty good opening, I have to say.
Yes,
they did a good job with that one.
But yeah, so this is a very unique, I guess, like, anime series of like just like they're like long episodes because they're OVAs.
Yeah, they're OVAs.
And you kind of just get the world. It still has that feeling of like a manga from like, let me see the manga from 97 to 2008. Okay.
Oh, that explains, I guess, why the 2001 series went to filler so quick then.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was like a week, like a monthly release. There's 10 volumes of the manga, so it definitely seems they probably got like a slower release over a monthly maybe.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the manga because these are paced decently well. I mean, these are the 2 we watched definitely feel like an episode.
Creator, because you remember the show Drifters also created that one, that weird afterlife like famous figures show.
I think that
was Drifters. I think that's so funny. After all the works, that's like one of 3 that actually have a Wikipedia page.
That's really funny.
Like Drifters, Hellsing, and like Crossfire, whatever that is.
Hellsing.
Yeah, what you think? So
it was enjoyable. It was pretty funny.
There are definitely some animation differences between episode 1 and 2. I think one uses a lot of like CG, where 2 I think he doesn't use as much. So he uses some, but like
2 definitely still had some CG in it.
Mostly on the gun reload porn.
Yeah, it's okay. I did want to bring this up. So we watched an anime a few weeks ago from the 90s, 80s. I can't remember. Oh my god,
our OVA watch. Or which one?
What was the Desert Rose? The maids. They're like the special.
Oh yeah. That one that ended up being disappointing at the very end.
So it's called Desert Rose Snow Apocalypse. So It is an OVA based on an longer running manga. The plot really quickly is of just a bunch of women.
It's like the Expendables.
Kind of. It's a bunch of women who are a civilian paramilitary force, which doesn't make sense.
That work outside the UN so they can just literally do whatever they want.
So no laws apply to them, which is hilarious because they're not civilians if no laws apply, whatever.
But there are enough. So
they're just like big. Whoever wrote that series is humongous gun otaku. Lots of like hyper realistic gun illustrations, and it's just hot babes holding guns. That's what you'd expect. It's really funny because I think we were kind of talking about how like modern anime really don't seem to have like the same love for like specifically cars and guns. Those are like the 2 things that in so many like 80s and 90s productions they get so much attention.
There's not many initial D's anymore.
That's true. Yeah. There's also like very real guns, or sorry, cars.
Guns, I feel there's still probably some,
but still, like I feel like you don't get it as much. You don't get like the fetishization of it. Like in this is a good example where like the guns all have like their exact make and model written on them, like Sig Sauer.
The details on it, like even the minor details of like the branding or whatever gun details.
All those things that like gun otaku were obsessed with in like these 80s and 90s OVA series.
And like, man, I can definitely see like Dante from Devil May Cry very much being inspired by the Alucard stuff of like stuff written on the guns and like.
Yeah, I guess he would predate
Red
him.
Coat. Yeah,
Alucard. Alucard would have predated him. Yeah.
DMC1 was a PS2 game, and that was originally going to be a.
Damn, you're right.
Our Devil May Cry 1 was really going to be a Resident Evil game. It was. I think that may have been the original RE4 reworked or something like that. It was something like that or Code Veronica that was originally supposed to be, and like it just became.
Yeah, I think it was RE4 originally was going to be a Devil May Cry game.
Because they kept the island. I think they kept like the mansion island stuff because that's what you do in Devil May Cry 1. You go to an island.
True. I played a bit of Devil May Cry 1. I my save didn't save and I couldn't play. I was so mad.
And like Dante in cutscenes, especially later on, where he just like lets stuff like let himself get beat up in cutscene just so he can like aura farm.
That's really funny. Wow, to me like Devil May Cry has just been around forever, but yeah, 98 would have predated it. So Yeah, I found it enjoyable. I thought the production was pretty good. The CG was a little distracting, with the guns in particular.
More so in the first one, because these are a lot of like CG blood too. Like the first one,
yeah.
Second one, they do a lot better with like I think the blood and like the gore effects or like cutting in pieces. Which
It's very stylistic.
Yes.
And there's certain stylistic things that for me just don't really work as much. Like I don't like that the ghouls are all just like they just kind of have this like. So, okay, in this world, there are vampires, and if you're not a virgin, and so if you are not a virgin and the vampire sucks your blood, you become a ghoul almost instantly. And the ghouls, their whole faces are like, and all their skin tone and body, whatever, it has this like greenish, like brownish, black overlay to it.
Yeah.
And from a stylistic standpoint, I understand what they're doing, but I just didn't like looking at it.
Maybe they didn't want to do the typical zombie thing of like making them like pale or like that green paleness like usually too, just like
I can definitely like understand it as a choice. To me, I just didn't like. Also, whenever I see like hordes of mindless drones, I'm just kind of like my eyes kind of roll in the back of my head.
Especially when you do creatures of the night, you want them to be in like shadows or like in the dark, like that way. But yeah, you need the vampire rules. There's like different levels of vampire. Obviously, Alucard is something different because the opening scene is like our main character like finding her as a child. Like,
well, is Helsing our main character?
No. Well, there's like 3 main characters really. If you what's it called?
Yeah. So Helsing as a child.
Yeah, so she had like 4 different names. It's very funny.
So the main like leader of the Helsing organization. Yes. So we see a scene where she's being chased by. Is she being chased by vampires?
No, she's being chased by her uncle.
Oh, it's her uncle.
Because her father left her the company.
That's right. Yeah, and he keeps calling her Fraulein.
Yes, Integra herself.
Integra is her
one of our 3
name,
main characters.
So she ends up getting a bit of her blood onto, which I actually really like.
Yeah, he gets shot.
So Alucard.
Yeah, Alucard.
We watched the
everybody will call
Japanese.
Everybody will just call him Alucard. It's just in our nature to call him Alucard.
So she was shot and a bit of blood. So he's bound in like the most. It's a very almost like Evangelion
like
the way that they
like a straitjacket kind of like
they bind like some of the Eva suits.
Very much, yeah. A lot of stuff. A lot of the like, media has that of like how you like capture and bind like
like a permanent.
Mummified kind of thing in a prison, like no blood about him. But yeah, then blood gets
just getting like 2 specks of blood is enough to fill him back up and get him going.
Not even that, a bunch lands in front of him. He just uses his weird vampire tongue to lick it up. He does
start using his long weird vampire tongue to lick it up, which is really funny.
And all we see there, basically, we assume that he saved her from the uncle, and she basically take over the Helsing company, which essentially is just like. Is essentially a monster hunting organization that works along, with a bunch of other organizations. It takes place in the UK, but
specifically, it seems to be Protestant. So it seems to be in coordination with probably the government of England, or at least the Church of England.
Yes,
that seems to be my takeaway, because
the Vatican is also
denominations do matter.
There are factions. There are
factions.
There's Helsing. The Vatican is kind of their own faction because
this is the thing that I latched onto them.
I know. I knew you.
I really enjoyed
once you got to Anderson. I'm like, Jim's gonna love the Anderson stuff.
I love the idea of just like a Japanese guy like going down like rabbit holes of the different sects of Christianity and like
and then
pitting them against each other in like a sort of secret holy war. And really
then you're leaving off on like German, like the Nazi faction coming in now of like, oh man, which
I would say also
what kind of weird German rabbit hole are we gonna fucking?
I would say that this series is quite tasteless in a lot of ways.
It's very much you feel like this is like a manga from like the late 90s.
Yes, it's super edgy. It's very like okay, so early on, I just want to address this right now. Like,
yes,
the threat of rape is very frequent. It's very present, and it has unfortunately like a plot significance. Because
at least every rapist is punished horribly and is murdered horribly.
But still, like, it's really uncomfortable when the main character herself's running around in like her dream and being like, I'm gonna be raped, and I'm just like, ugh.
I did hate that one, but Jim, I was like, no, it's actually plot relevant. She doesn't become like a Dracula. Jim's like, oh yeah.
It is unfortunately plot relevant, because
but she does.
They do, back to what I was saying.
Our police girl.
Yeah, police girl.
Our other main character.
Her name is Sansa? No.
Sarah Victoria.
But it's spelled
Sarah's
weird.
Victoria. But everybody calls her police girl, so everybody will just refer to her as police girl.
I do want to just talk about her right now. She is a sex object.
Yes.
Like, she's a sex object. She is literally objectified to her what's the word? Her job. Like, they don't even call her by her name. They literally call her police girl. Also, I will say, they call her girl when she's a grown-ass woman.
He never asked for her. They never
ask her.
Well, to Alucard, who you assume has been alive for like hundreds or thousands of years or whatever, like you assume that's like how elder vampires don't call people like women; they just call them like girls.
But still, I'm making a point in like the work that was made. Like it's very sexist. I mean, you know me. Like. I can deal with like the edge, like I like Gantz a lot, but I just have to say these things. And also the whole like use of Nazis in like your fiction, like I mean, hey, Persona 2 does this too. It is really tasteless, and it's very funny coming from Japan because you have that level of there's a couple layers of separation there that you don't have.
But you do have
a Western country.
You do have that lore of the Nazis loving the supernatural. So like I can, which I do love when media brings that in because it's silly and I love to use it. And I love to have just kill Nazis in video games so much.
It is silly, but I also just like it makes my stomach hurt when I see like any sort of depictions of Nazis.
Well, if you watch the dub, then you start hearing German accents being in the dub.
And I understand this was made in like 2006 and things are different, but like more so now than ever, just being reminded of the Third Reich is just it makes me extremely uncomfortable.
It's rough. It's rough now. When back in that day, it was like the norm to have Nazis in your media and then get slaughtered like crazy. So
yeah, like your Indiana Jones was what it felt more
like. Your Wolfensteins,
like
you've every World War II shooter.
Yeah, which that's another whole conversation. But
yeah,
so yeah, I do want to just point out like she's very objectified, and also something that I really wanted more out of her was like her experience, because it seems like she's kind of the main character here. Like
we get a glimpse of when she transformed, of like a flashback, or like when she before transformed, before she's like thinking of like, hey, do you want to stay as a vampire or do you want to die? And she basically thinks like her family, her parents were murdered in front of her as a child or some
seemingly by vampires,
or
extremely bloody.
Unless there's other freaking creatures of the night that did that.
That's true. That's actually a good.
Could have been a werewolf. Could have been a Frankenstein.
From her standpoint, though, it really seems
could have been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It could have. All right, this is real Van Helsing territory. That's so funny.
You think like it could happen?
I mean, it could. I really don't know what like the limits of this universe are.
Yes,
it's still pretty vague on like what vampires actually are. Like we were kind of talking about it earlier too. There is just like this common like cultural understanding that we have of like what is a vampire, what kills a vampire.
Yes.
And like it is funny to me when you start bringing up religion, because
it's very funny in this one that you have Christianity, but we do have Catholics like heavily involved in this too, which is very interesting.
I really love this aspect of adding the different sects of modern day Christians. But you brought up the point where like the idea that like the vampires are essentially like selling their soul to Satan.
Yes, it's very much like that, like very much like a Jersey Devil kind of thing, where like somebody like cursing someone or selling their soul essentially to the devil. And
which to me that can track, and I do like they actually bring up some hidden vampire lore about the having to sleep with soil from your homeland. I think that's really cool.
I love that.
And you bring that up.
Also, just saying like, if you don't do that, you'll probably like lose control quicker, or like
it said that she'll get weaker. But okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We get the initial like intro. We get the police girl. We get Alucard shooting her in the boob to kill the vampire, then turning her into him, and you kind of get to imply that like he doesn't transform people. Like this police girl was a very, very rare exception, and she doesn't really understand why he did that. Which
I don't understand it either, because it seems like he really wanted to do it. Like,
and he's on a different level of other vampires, as we see Saul in the second episode, where like,
yeah, like Alucard here is like the bestest guy ever. He's so fucking strong and good, but like he still chose to shoot her.
He didn't need. Like he doesn't have like respect for any. Like, he works with humans, but he really only seems to respect what's it called, like Integra. Like
but it's really weird to me that it's like he wanted to do that. He wanted to turn her because he knew that she would. But like he should have no knowledge.
Was he
about
bored?
Her.
Did he see something in her? Like we don't know. Maybe I think we probably had to watch more to really kind of get to that.
And so he's. I mean, we didn't describe how he looks, but he's like the iconic red jumpsuit, or he has this red fucking
the red coat, the big red hat.
Yeah, he's got the big glowing circular glasses.
I thought they do that a lot. A lot of people wear glasses or monocles.
Almost every glass and every
glow.
set of glasses in this series are like round rimmed glasses.
And
it's very funny.
And they glow in the dark. I really
glow.
do love those shots of like eyes glowing. I think Police Girl's like eyes glow when she goes to a blood rage, but like.
So yeah, Alucard does a funny thing where he lets a bunch of. They have guns, right? They all just pull out guns and they start shooting them up in the first scene.
Yes.
So yeah, he lets all these ghouls. So yeah, like
just an aura farm,
regular ass normal priest vampire guy. That is yeah.
Priest vampire.
He lets himself get fucked up, but he's like so fucking good that he regenerates instantly.
We kind of learned he's kind of just testing the waters of other vampires just to see if he can like let loose a little bit.
Well, you said about him being bored kind of does track too, where it's like when you're that invincible and immortal, like why not just let people try and shoot at you to see what's gonna happen?
Like that one job, like he only kind of like takes it serious so that he can like train Police Girl to like learn how to use her senses to help her snipe better, which is very cool to see. Like this, I don't know, a sniping scene always goes hard in media.
So to jump ahead, he gives her a choice. We see a flashback. She clearly chose to want to be a vampire so that she can live and fight.
Yeah.
They call her a Midian sometimes. Midi. Wait, so
it was like Midian or Median.
Yeah, yes, it was Midian, Midian.
Yes.
They also call her Draculina. So a vampire. I don't know if they ever use the V word in this. A vampire.
They do use vampire.
Okay, but they like a certain type of sentient vampire is called a Dracula or a Draculina, which is hysterical. And
there's like some. I feel like there's like minor vampires where like I don't think Alucard really acknowledges them as vampires at all. So like. Yeah, you're a lesser vamp, maybe.
In a second of OVA, he does kind of bring up the idea of there being like a tiered sort of fucking ranking system.
But the thing about Alucard, like, I feel like the tier to him where like what he considers be a threat.
Yeah, but it's also just like, oh, this is the shonen battle leaking through. I did get a big like shonen battle-y feel from this too, in the way that like people use special powers, and I have no idea what publication the original thing was. I have no idea if it's actually a shonen.
Let me see.
It's likely a seinen just due to the prevalence of rape, I would say.
It's in
and the threats.
Young King OUR.
If it's young, then it's probably shonen.
It says Young King R's, which is a shonen.
Yeah, shonen. Yeah. There we go. So it is a shonen, technically.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
See, this is why these labels don't mean anything. Like, these are just demographic indicators, if anything else. But
let's say the same magazine that published Trigun, apparently, and like. That's really the only other big thing, which I can see this being with Trigun.
Yeah, in my brain, they kind of exist together because of the red and the characters. They also kind of came out at the same time.
You're right. Vash and the blonde-haired red coat guy who's a pacifist, and then the guy who wants to like would never be a pacifist and just wants to fight. But no, I thought it very interesting. Like I think feel to a lot of stuff. Like we get the intro with Alexander Anderson.
Wait, hold on. Before we talk about him, one thing I did want to say is I really wanted more from Sarah's in this. I wanted more about her experience. Like they kind of play with it a little bit, but to me, she's the character that I care more about. Like Alucard is the character that you want to keep mysterious and like
she's
drip little bits, but she I need to see more about her experience.
The newcomer, like the readers,
the audience surrogate, almost. Yeah, like she takes to being a vampire so naturally. Like
it could have been also like a first like OVA thing of just trying to get into it right away.
Yeah, maybe trying to speed up so we can get the epic fight between them and Alexander.
The tease of her past, and then like, okay, well, we're gonna explore that later when it happens in the manga, and we get her past story or tragic backstory.
Yeah, and maybe that's just not the type of story that they want to tell. For me, that's what I wanted more humanization of her as a character because she's so sexualized and uses such a gag.
Yeah, where
Integra like every time she exists on screen, she's like a gag or a sex object.
Where Integra is like the opposite, where like she is a female character, but she's like not a sex object. She's just like she's a intimidating force. Like she's not dressed like a She
actually really isn't. She
smokes cigars. She's kind
of sexy. She's got like some straps and stuff on her like pants, I think, but she's not like. There are so many frames where Sarah, I don't want to call her police girl. Don't call her police girl.
Everybody calls her police girl.
I'm not going to throw insult on that name. Call her police woman. No,
call her Victoria. If you like.
Wait, what's her first name? Oh, it's Victoria, isn't it?
Because it's Sarah's Victoria.
But it's Japanese people, so they say the first name last. So her name's probably actually Victoria. So whatever. So many times like her ass or boobs are like extremely prominent in the shot. Whereas with Integra, which sounds like a multivitamin
Integrity.
that you take. She's not really sexualized at all, which is interesting. She's also a little vague on how old she is.
Yeah.
Presumably she's a bit older, but not really like ancient.
No, but as I said, she's very different from what you expect of, especially in that time period, a woman to be like design-wise to be.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She does look just like Maximilian Pegasus.
A lot of characters look like Pegasus.
And she smokes these like brown cigarettes, these like kind of cigars, but not really.
I think this is very funny because like say that's like
she got Black and Mild.
What was Trigun also being out there like just tall, intimidating with like Millie. Also, she's like goofy, but like she's also just a tall, intimidating like unit.
Yeah, it's funny when you kind of look back and see. It's like when everyone points to be like, "Oh, the Cal art style." It's like, well, it's not really the Cal art style. It's just there's a lot of like similar trends that are kind of popular at the same time. That's kind of what we're looking back and seeing.
Yeah.
But no. So yeah, and then we jump ahead. We get the best characters introduced. Alexander, what's his name?
Alexander Anderson, Father
Alexander Anderson, who is a Catholic priest.
Yes.
Who
I want you to explain what Alexander Anderson.
So he's a Catholic priest who works for so he's like pretty anonymous, even though he's like one of the strongest guys in the world. He is an extremely anonymous member of the thing called the 13th Order, which is a secret Vatican order. This is where like I really started to like light up. A secret Vatican order of like exorcists. There's a couple. They're basically like the Spanish Inquisition, but like
they just take out any monsters. They work outside the They're like the 13th.
They're named after Judas,
yes,
which I didn't quite understand that reference, but I also haven't gotten to that part of the Bible yet. So
it's just very funny. They work outside; like they're not considered like part of the Vatican.
I just love this like excuse you get all the time in anime. It's like, oh, we're outside of the system. It's like that still does not make you like exempt from rules. Like if anything, it makes you even more like dangerous or even more of a target because you're not following any rules. But so. He is a blonde hair. I think he's blue eyes. I might be wrong.
Well, most of the time you can't really see his eyes because they're in the shadow glowing up.
He's got the cool circular glasses. He's got shorter hair. He's got a big smile all the time.
Now tell me about his arsenal, Jim. When he attacks Alucard and the police girl.
So he uses the Bible. He uses the Bible to ensnare them, and then he also uses bayonets.
Well, he uses pages of the Bible to seal them in because they're like... literally like the seals in Japan.
Yes, I wanted to look the name. It's really funny because I was actually just watching some Sailor Moon recently, and there are those prayer. Hold on.
Oh, they look like the like I don't think.
So they're called omikuju.
Okay.
They're like those sort of like short, but like they're not long in width, but they're like whatever, you know what I'm saying. They're like little rectangles that are ofuda I guess are the actual one. They're like these like prayer papers that you put on to, I think it's a talisman, I guess is what you would call it.
What's very funny too is that like when he leaves, like he just like can just summon them all back to his Bible, which is very funny.
Yes, also there is a use of nails too, which I would say, to my understanding, nail like imagery is well, I mean, you could say Jesus.
Isn't that how Martin Luther like?
Well, he did technically nail his theses to the church door, but to me, I feel like that's also like kind of a Shinto thing of like nailing things to trees in particular.
Because I remember that also that shit kid from a bunch of Juji Ito stories, how he had the nails.
He's got the candles on his head.
And another thing, how you did with like what's it called, like the doll, like the voodoo doll kind of things too, like nails.
Yeah, maybe that's also like more of a voodoo thing.
It's a big thing from multiple religions. Nails are just like a vital thing.
I mean, the obvious Jesus comparison. He was nailed to the cross, but so he's able to use the random Bible pages.
Don't forget the holy bayonets too.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that. He's got holy bayonets that he can seemingly just like make an infinite amount of.
He literally did the black dynamite. I threw that shit before I walked into the room.
He literally does. So the whole setup is that there is the Catholic Church, the Vatican, and so Catholic Church, the Vatican, like they're the same thing. And then you've got Helsing, which is an organization that is Protestant in creation. So they have certain treaties. I can't remember what
alliances.
They literally reference like a specific like like Protestant
They're like,
reformer treaty.
It's like, don't interfere in our stuff unless we discuss it beforehand. But one of them goes out of their behind their backs. They're like, hey, it's not in the UK. This is an incident happening in Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Okay, technically Northern Ireland is the UK.
But it's not England. But technically it's not happening in England. So you get there, that land is ours. It belongs to us originally.
So yeah, which is hilarious. So. The Catholic priest, Father Anderson Cooper.
Alexander Anderson.
This is going to be impossible for me to remember.
I can never forget.
Ambushes them, so he goes and takes out this vampire first.
You don't even see him. You don't even see the
vampire.
No.
So the ghouls don't go away.
We learn that later. Yeah, about like when the lead vampire dies, the ghouls that in the bloodline made by that vampire go away as well.
But they're not. Oh, also, okay, another detail too that was brought up to the Father Anderson as he was being introduced is that there is like a new rash of vampire sightings and attacks all over England.
Yes.
And this is like
there's a secret force behind them.
Yeah. And he seems to be like pretty happy about this.
Well, he's like, I get to fight again. Like I kind of been like dormant for a bit. I'm gonna fuck shit up.
So he ends up ambushing our crew, which I will also say another like weird point of dehumanization of our main character, Sarah Victoria, is that she now calls Alucard Master all the time, which I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, she is his thrall, right? I
guess he created her, but he's also her teaching her. Like she is literally his like master via like he just being taught how to be the way of the vampire.
But it wasn't sensei.
And
it was master.
And he tried to get her to like drink his blood to give her like his powers, which he didn't do.
It seems like that would make her a different type of vampire.
It'd probably be whatever line of vampire he is. I'm assuming.
His special powers.
Like if you're like a vampire protege and you drink the blood of your master, you fall down the line. But if you don't do that at all, you're like kind of like a middle ground vampire, just being generally like stronger.
She's in like a really weird place where she's like,
which makes sense,
kind of a vampire, but not really, and she's choosing not to drink blood.
Because it makes sense because a lot of the other vampires like are like jobbers, and like the brothers we meet later on, it doesn't really seem to have any special gimmick. He's just really good with 2 P90s with sniper scopes on him.
Yeah, there's a couple guys who we see like little clips of,
but his brother seems to have like actual like
they're just kind of normal guys,
like faster than light abilities. So like
but so we have this amazing fight scene where Anderson immediately throws like 13 bayonets through
her back. None of them pierce her heart. Because I want to enjoy it because I haven't been able to kill.
Which I like that both of these guys, like him and Alucard, are both like bored and are just kind of playing around, which is really funny.
One's like the ultimate like vampire like creation, or wherever he is, wherever the vampire lord, and the other one the ultimate like, human creation, because as we learned that Alexander is like the ultimate like byproduct of like gene splicing. Essentially had like hyper healing. He's like a Wolverine healing factor.
He seems to be part of a Catholic breeding program which created the ultimate
these are just like insane
ultimate weapon. This is so funny. I love this so much. He's the ultimate weapon against vampires because he can heal immediately. He can like move faster than light.
This would be part 1 if Iraqi wasn't a coward.
Basically. Oh, now that you say that, I did find out a lot of
Alucard voiced Poochie in the Eyes of Heaven game, which is very funny.
That is really funny. The voice actor for Victor Hale, who was the guy in the second episode
with the blonde
Victor Hale, the blonde guy.
He was like Victor.
I think his name was Victor. I'm 90% sure
I can look it up.
that he is the same VA as Dio. I forget his name. I forget Dio's VA name, but his voice is like Yuku Kawaja. I'm not gonna try, but it's one of those voices you just hear and you're like,
it's so funny.
Dio.
I'm just going through characters and just seeing the character you haven't met yet that I'm familiar with. I'm just laughing because like once you see like the names, you're just gonna laugh your ass off.
Luke Ballantyne.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he was Dio's. But there was just a really, I mean, the end of that first episode, they just had an epic fight scene. We have that scene where, so Alucard gets his head cut off, and then a police girl gets she gets the power within herself to rip all the holy bayonets out.
She kind of goes through a bloodlust, which she's like kind of pushed to the limit as well. So her eyes goes red.
So this happens in both episodes. Yeah, he
is the voice of Dio. You did spot it. Good job.
His voice is so. What's his name? Can you? I'll read it.
I'm scrolling back up.
If you show it to me, I'll read it.
Takehito Koyasu.
Koyasu, yeah. His voice is just so iconic. Anytime I hear it, I'm like, that's fucking Dio.
That's Dio. Like when he voiced Deadpool that one time.
Yeah, he did voice Deadpool that one time. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so they have a funny epic fight, and then...
basically,
what's her name
Integra.
again? Integra.
She shoots his gun to smithereens and saying, "You can't be here. You're kind of in violation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring this up to the Vatican." Like,
Well, I love the part where he's like, I cut your guy's head off. She's like,
that's it.
You only... She just starts fucking like vamping. She's like, you only cut his head off? Oh, you're in for a sore surprise, Bucky boy.
She's like, you better kill me before he reassembles himself, and he does.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
So he like is a bat. He batifies himself. He becomes a billion bats. Yeah, he just yelled bat.
Well, he said if she drank his blood, she would. Or like, no, the one vampire jobber he fought. He's like, you're pathetic. You can't even turn into like a swarm of bats or bugs or shadows.
True,
like, you suck.
I love the fucking shonen battleification of vampire powers. It's really funny.
I love that Alucard just has a power tier list comparing to himself. Like, yeah, you kind of suck, man.
And he has fucking limiters. He has fucking weights. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
yeah. And then, unfortunately, that's the last time we see Alexander Anderson for the episode.
But it's the classic sort of like, haha, I can't beat you in my current state. I'm going to teleport away.
With my Bible pages.
Yeah, he brings all his Bible pages back so he can teleport away.
But we have his Virgil, his Vegeta, like, we have his, like, rival, his inverse rival.
You gotta set that up early. You gotta set it. His evil inverse.
I love...
He's just a Catholic priest.
Also, what do you think about his gloves? Like, what did he wrote in the gloves? Like...
Oh, he has his gloves say Jesus is in heaven. And it looks like it was written by hand. It's not like printed or anything.
I love that.
Also, Jesus, that's the same thing that's written on Alucard's gun in the second episode.
It's his bigger gun.
Yeah, his bigger, more epic gun.
His first gun, it's like, what is it? It fires bullets made out of like the silver of a cross.
Yes, it's melted from some church in Lancaster, I think.
Something like that.
Not PA, Lancaster, like England.
Yeah, where all the Amish cross.
Amish, they don't have silver. They haven't gotten to the Bronze Age
the
yet.
silver mine. They're playing Civ. The Amish are just playing Civ while we're playing checkers.
But so yeah, and that was really it, I guess, right?
What's it called?
What happened in that episode?
They kind of just fuck off and they kind of go back in there and like we get a little bit. Oh, in the Integra, we kind of meet like her butler a little bit too, and we had the tease of the Nazi man that we come to learn later on in the second episode.
Yeah, we see a blonde-haired Nazi man at the end. I was like, uh-oh.
Well. Jim was like, Hitler?
Yeah, basically. They do. I think they even bring that up. Wait, did they bring that up in the end of the second episode?
They say, like, oh, there was an Millennium. It's an organization that somebody tried to do. Hitler.
That was the big reveal at the end of the second episode. So, yeah, second episode, basically, they just kind of do they actually give Sarah's Victoria.
Yes.
They give her some stuff where she's like, ew, where'd my bed go? I don't want to be a vampire.
Basically her like the life starting to change of like, yeah, you kind of need to sleep in a coffin. Like,
but it's all played for gags. It's very like first, LOL.
But when she learns, is like, no, to make yourself like, not get weak or like, for yourself, your master kind of like said this kind of do it for you, and she kind of like stops complaining after that.
Well, because he says your master did it, and she's like, master. Also, she's a fucking thrall.
Yes, and and this is like a character we kind of go around with a lot. Is like her butler.
Yes, I don't remember his name. Oh, Volta.
The
Japanese names. Also, I do want to say, he did chastise her. So Alucard did chastise her for not drinking the blood. He said, "You idiot." But then at the end, he's like, maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe you trying to keep your little bit of your humanity is why like I kind of dig having you around.
And I hate to say it, but when this happens in a story, I am just like, oh, she's gonna become a human again. Like that's the ultimate like me trying to read the tea leaves of the story. Like, oh, she's probably just gonna be a human again, unless something horrible happens, like becomes sort of a Kamiga kill final act, and she has to embrace the inner demon. I don't know, but
I was like, did you finish a Kamiga kill?
I absolutely did not finish.
I was gonna say, what the fuck you doing?
I'm pretty sure you spoiled it for me, or I heard about it.
Well, there's the manga and the anime end completely different ways.
But I just thought it'd be fun to reference a Kamiga kill. So ultimately, this episode is an invasion. It's a home invasion film.
So Integra's voice actress, she voiced the younger Snake sister, Vampire Hunter D. A fun little connection there.
That is funny.
That she was a voice in that.
It's almost impossible to not think about D when you look at Alucard.
There's a Mount Rushmore of these archetypes of like epic vampire, like Dampiers or like super vampire, like him, Alucard, D, and there's probably like one more like epic vampire man that's like, I guess one of the Dracula movies.
You could fill a fucking mountain of just Alucards.
Pretty much. But yeah, basically it's a very fun, like, it's, I guess, would you consider it like a Die Hard kind of thing where like the facility, basically their HQ gets locked down. They learn that like all the we talked about earlier with like the ghouls, and like they all have chips in them that seem to be like,
oh yeah, we didn't mention
like,
the chips.
As we learn, they kind of like listen in, they kind of monitor everything, and if they give away too much information, it kind of self-destructs and everything.
So yeah, we were given this information because Integra's giving a conference to like 13 important guys or
the round table of like important British or
who cares
figures, and basically like, they get swarmed by the two vampire brothers. I mean, Luke was
it's not. I guess it's supposed to be pretty vague right now. It's got to be the Nazis who are.
No. That's what the real was at the end. Was like
Millennium. That's when like they like give us one word. It's like Millennium.
They're part of like that organization, obviously, the Valentine brothers. And so and we kind of got like a Die Hard thing where like the butler Alucard, wasn't it the butler again? You said
Valta.
Okay, thank you. I had to hear that again.
It's funny because they're British, not even German, so they shouldn't get the Valta. It's just Walter.
So basically, a bunch of like armored ghouls with like a "Don't open dead inside" sheet written on.
I was really confused. It looked like they had
to do something on the bus, Jim.
they all wrote the exact same thing. So yeah, the
Luke and Jan are the two brothers, but Luke's the one going after Alucard, who has like a weird like kind of invisibility, like, or like super flash step, like Wesker super speed, like slashing with a knife,
he's
and
super speed guy.
And Jan just likes two P90s to go like spray, and they basically storm the facility.
Sorry, two P90s with sniper scopes.
With sniper scopes, he doesn't aim down the sights; he just sprays and sprays.
It's two different sniper scopes.
It's like a video game thing where you put a scope on it, it just gives you like a passive buff. You never actually, there's no aim down the sights mechanic.
Yeah,
but like
he's always posing. He's doing big fucking big poses.
So basically, said okay, two of us have to go defend. Split up. Half of us go defend the boards, and the other half just goes on the attack. And it's very funny in hindsight because Alucard is the one to go on the attack, but all he does is
he goes to his bedroom and sits down.
He sits on the throne and waiting for Luke essentially to come in there, and then
the plan makes no sense because like ultimately they're like Police Girl and Volta are protecting the people anyway. It makes no sense.
But I do love the meetup of like the what's it called, the one P90 dude against the Police Girl and Walter.
Yeah, this is the most fun thing. Just their little fight.
Like Walter just disintegrates all the ghouls essentially.
So Walter, it seems like he's pulling like strings out of his mouth.
Very much the anime string power is right up there next to like.
Trying to figure out, is it supposed to be like his hair? Because he's got kind of longer hair.
I'm not entirely sure. It could just be like anime string powers are like, it could just be the gloves. They could just be in the glove and you pull them in the teeth.
The fun part of string powers, though, are like One Piece. Like, it's really fun that like they are actually string. Like, it's kind of a mystery what his power is at first until you're like, oh, it's string.
Like Kamiga Kill, a character had that too, and it had metal wires, and they were just like could just slice through people.
Second to Kamiga Kill reference in the podcast.
I could do a whole discussion about that. I will do a whole lecture on a Kamiga Kill. But
how about no?
No, how about yes? Give Sam something.
So yeah, they have a cool little fight.
I do love like he met a bunch of the ghouls up, but use the sniper gun. He gets her a new gun too, and it kind of can just basically do like giant artillery 50 cal snipers that just do different things.
It's really funny. I remember when I was a baby child, I went to Colonial Williamsburg, and they had like an armory that I got to see like old muskets and stuff in. And one of the guns was like a 90 caliber. Like it's essentially like a cannon that you hold, and like 2 or 3 guys have to hold it to shoot. And it shoots. It's fucking massive. It's like 9 feet long. And that's basically what they gave her. They gave her just like a cannon shooter.
I do love that they use like vampire super strength just to be able to one person to hold these guns and not feel recoil, which is fun. But but she also it basically had like a grenade launcher or like an old like rocket launcher sight on it, which is like very funny to see.
Oh yeah.
I played enough like old
like the little
shooters.
Notch, the the blocky notch one.
And I do love that. So they basically just like disintegrate, and they kind of like the one moment like when the guys kind of realize he's screwed, he like tries to make a break for like the room to go kill them all before he gets like caught, and like he has his arm get ripped off by Walter's arm, and like. And then when he opens the door and they're all just ready to have their guns lined up.
Yeah, Integra and all of the fucking
board
members all just have their guns out. It's really funny.
It's great. And then they basically, he just like gets screwed and just like, you know, like I said, he gets held prisoner. He's like, my brother's already there. He's probably killing Alucard.
He's killing Alucard as we speak. He's like,
and
nah,
as we learn, he basically gets caught and basically gives him like the Millennium Teeth and he burns up. And then a bunch of the ghouls that got brought in as reinforcements were like the other soldiers of Helsing, and she's like, we gotta put them all out of their misery. And like the one board member goes, no, you are the charge and director, you have to put them all down. Which, and
then she says like, I'm sorry to each one.
Like, fuck. I didn't want to do
also
that.
There's a scene where Police Girl starts to go rampant and she starts like going berserker mode,
bloodlust, and
then Integra jumps on her and hugs her from behind and says, stop it, they're already dead.
Or maybe it was something, because she doesn't want to see her men, you know.
I think it's two things. I think it's that, and also she doesn't want Police Girl to go out of control. Shows that she cares about
which
her.
I do love a boss that actually likes her, you know, has like a bunch of employees and like feels bad. She doesn't want to do that. It's very she'll do the thing that Lisa did, where she'll smoke the cigarette backwards, and like that's how you know it's bothering her. The cigar, you smoke the cigar backwards. But yeah, and then we got the Alucard during this, and like he's fighting.
He just has an epic fight.
He's fighting Luke, but Luke's like, you're so fat. He's like, he does not leave his chair. Like, he's getting shot up. He keeps like shooting each other. Like, you're not even leaving your chair. You're standing up, and then he stands up like, oh, you're actually pretty good. You actually dodged some of my shots and everything. Like, you were a little bit of a class A right here. I'm gonna go remove some of these limiters.
He removes his limiters, folks. He puts his limiters off, which are his gloves. He
basically has
alchemist symbols on his gloves.
Yeah, very much the Roy Mustang gloves.
Yeah, I was thinking that. That was in my head.
But he very much has like what's it called? Like he had like shadow power essentially, where he makes like a shadow doll, like a shadow like Cerberus hellhound, I guess. Probably be the most accurate thing that they're doing.
Out of his shadow, he just creates. And then there's a part where like out of the hellhound's mouth, his arm pops out so that he can shoot him more.
I love
it's like
that.
fucking part. What's it called? It's like when Johnny can like make it like a little
appear
pocket, pocket dimension holes for himself to shoot out of.
I love that. It's so cool. He shoots his legs off. He like eats the legs. Like, come on, put yourself together. Like, fight.
He's so fucking like I love this like manic form that he goes into, like Alucard goes into, and then he's so disappointed when the guy has no will to fight anymore.
You're a monster. Like,
he was like, damn, I thought I was actually gonna have fun.
He was rock hard, then got flaccid immediately.
So he just kills him.
You ruined the mood. You ruined my groove.
Yeah.
And then just like
that's pretty funny.
He just lets the dog eat him, and just like, well, I guess that's over. I guess I'll go leave now. And then I think at the very end they said like, there was like 8 survivors. No, there was like 10 survivors. 8 of them only lived because they were off country or out of the facility doing off duty.
Yeah, they were just off duty.
And like, it's like, oh, you don't count Alucard and the police girl, and you're like, they're not alive.
Yeah, they're already dead, which is so stupid.
Very funny
to not count them, because then how are you keeping track of them? Like, it's very so fucking stupid.
I guess that we know, and there's obviously something up with Walter because he's very good. He can fight the vampires.
They called him the Angel of Death, which is unfortunately another reference to Nazis.
Yes. And there's something obviously with him, so we don't know if he's a human or just a superpowered human or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like we've seen him outside during the day.
Anybody that could like live more past than one episode in a fight with a vampire, there's obviously something more to them to be like a character, because they'll just get slaughtered.
He does seem like a little too OP though, I would say.
It's like ice powers, where like the thread powers are like just as OP.
Yeah,
like. They're like probably 2 of the most OP like anime powers in.
Because you just get insta kills. Basically,
you don't have to draw or really animate. Luckily, you like, do the shine and everything.
Yeah, the shine effect.
I really liked when they showed Luke or whatever when he's killing a bunch of the jobbers, where he was just like you could follow his really movement cool. with his light
cigar, his cigarette. Yeah, you could track his little. That was actually really cool. I thought that was a really cool part.
It's very awesome, and I love that.
So that's Helsing episodes 1 and 2.
What do you think about it? It's not like a mystery thing. It's more of an action, but there is some overlying backstory mystery and like what people are, what are the rules, what now there's a Millennium faction, what's gonna be inside there.
I'm worried about it, honestly.
It can't just be evil Hitler man.
It's probably just evil Hitler man. They probably got some like, we're gonna bring back Satan.
Oh, I said he does have some very interesting ghouls and creatures on his team. I will let you know in the future that that you will probably laugh when you hear some of their names, like I said earlier.
I'm sure that like the Lance of Longinus is going to show up. I mean, how could it not? Like,
I'm not. In this world, like literally could just be like a person named the Longitude.
Well, I mean, Longinus was like a guy.
Yeah. So I mean, this is more of a world where like that stuff could show up. But there is some very funny stuff, and like you think just like in all this stuff, how can we beat up Alucard? Like at some point, it happened in Vampire Hunter D at some point where like something has to mess with him to like not.
Yeah, he's too strong. There needs to be something to nerf him for a bit.
That's from all those things. Like it happens in on that Mount Rushmore where they have to like get nerfed a little bit or get like hit hard by something.
You gotta humanize him.
Anderson have to come back and they have to have an epic like either face off, team up, or team up then face off kind of thing.
I guess the idea is that Nazis come back and then the Vatican has
to go to the
work
Vatican City. No,
the Vatican has to work with the Protestants begrudgingly. But
we did talk about this with Shiki. But would you watch more? Because it is an OVA, and like you are interested in OVA, see how it evolved. I also told you that
they're generally higher
studios
quality.
Change, directors also change throughout this.
That's a little. I don't know. That's a crapshoot because you don't really know if it's gonna be good or bad.
Yeah,
if it's gonna.
I remember it being good throughout. And Madhouse does the middle ones, which is gonna be interesting.
I'd probably watch more. It's definitely not like something that's top of my list right now. I just want to watch more Shiki.
Yes,
honestly.
but this is a recommendation of something that I had that you're like, okay, I'd be willing to actually
this
more out at some
was
point.
Good. This was enjoyable.
It's only like 10 episodes or like what was it 10 episodes? Yeah, 10 episodes. So which is not bad at all. Like OVA getting an hour long kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure that it probably was really a lot of like Hellsing fans are probably really happy to get this.
From what I've read about what people say about the original one, it's like a much better. It's good. The studio that did the last few episodes did do a classic Zodiac Wars.
Oh God,
Tokyo Mew Mew New.
I have no idea the quality of that, but
and anything Hellsing Ultimate did a bunch of Hellsing stuff. Records of Ragnarok. Oh no, but this is
not a good sign.
We'll have to see though. But they did do the opening animations of Project Cross Zone 2, which is actually pretty good. So. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe it's also early then. This is before they actually maybe could animate an OVA compared to the slideshow series. We'll see. That's what makes it fun. And hope But overall, you like it. Good horror. Very much where you had like the dread horror mystery kind of like.
This is the schlock. This is
my like slasher movie schlock fun
super bloody explosions. It's very like raunchy. I mean, Shiki's definitely got the raunchy.
Me and you are big Van Helsing the movie defenders.
I'm a fucking apologist for Van Helsing.
We love it, and I kind of like put this on there. Are just fun, weird supernatural worlds like killing monsters, vampires. If it's just vampires, maybe more stuff could just come in along the line. We don't know yet. Or 2 episodes. The Nazis were not just into just vampires, probably. They were probably into a lot of other weird supernatural stuff.
Yeah, and also doing horrible crimes.
Horrible war crimes. But overall, I love Hellsing Ultimate. I love Alucard. He's also in Call of Duty. He has a skin in Call of Duty recently that he's just in. It's very weird. That
is really weird.
It's like the first crossover of like Hellsing. It's not like a Shonen Jump thing, which is very weird.
That's so bizarre.
It's strange. I said
for it to happen now.
I said when you think of like crossovers in video games of anime characters, it's all like Shonen Jump stuff for the most part. It's hard to think of like.
Attack on Titan. It's not Shonen Jump.
I guess was it not in Jump?
Nope. Attack on Titan was not.
But that was like so massive that you would like think like it was one of those weird outliers. I guess that was just so massive. I'm trying to think of like, other like anime crossovers that were like not as like massive like worldwide like
Jujutsu
not Shonen Jump.
Kaisen's not in Shonen Jump.
Yes, it is. Shut up. I'll kill you. Because it's just
make someone mad.
It's very funny that he like showed up in other stuff and I'm like. I
guess it's just fucking nostalgia.
There's some other like crossover anime crossover games, but they're not like as like big, huge as like Jump games are. Yeah. So
all right, this is gonna be a very fucking long episode. So.
I mean, it's a cut up between 2 things. Do we want to do a root beer talk for this episode where we just talk about the underworld of? Related. It's Halloween's the underworld, the Greeks' hell.
Hades 2.
Yes.
Let's talk briefly about Hades 2.
Right, root beer talk.
So, we're entering root beer talk territory. I have beaten Hades 2. I've rolled credits.
Okay, I have not, but I've beaten the boss a lot, so I'm probably gonna get there hopefully soon.
Yeah, no spoilers, obviously. We might spoil a little bit about just the final bosses themselves. So there are 2 sort of main routes you need to go. Paths you have to do in this game.
Up and down.
Hades had just one. Hades 1 had just one, where you play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, who... The Prince of Blood, I think he actually... I think there's like one reference to a character named Zagreus in like all of Real. He's basically like a fan fiction character.
Is the daughter...
Millenway? I didn't look into it. Probably the same, if not just an entirely made-up creation. The whole plot of Hades 1 is you're trying to get out of Hades, out of hell, to get to your mother, Persephone, which is like a real Greek story. And of course, Hades blocks your path. He doesn't want you going up there. And then Hades 2, there's a whole calamity where Kronos, the god of time, or sorry, the Titan of time, is here, and
famously the gods teamed up and beat.
Yes, because he was the father of all the main like Poseidon, Hades. And Zeus.
It's usually just like the three brothers that did it, but they said in this time it was like the six.
It's supposed to be everybody.
Yeah, everybody's here.
But so yeah, he's reformed and he's taken over Hades. So you play as Hades' daughter, trying to go from the surface world to Hades to beat him, and then also you need to discover a way to go to the surface to get up to Mount Olympus to fight another mysterious threat,
to help the gods and meet up with them to the other act half of your plan. So.
Yeah, so it's really good. It's a really, really good sequel. I loved the game, but it's funny. We talked to our one friend Tom, who I do a podcast with, actually, the Steven Universe podcast. Check it out. The Crystal Men?
Oh, the Crystal Men?
The very, our very own Crystal Men. And he was like, oh, I didn't like the ending. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I got to the ending and I was like, yep, I understand why I didn't like this. I also don't really like the ending very much. Bit of a disappointment compared to the first game, which had an incredible ending. There is additional content as the first game had. Like, the first game had like an ultimate final ending.
Yeah.
But I got like the true ending, I guess is what you'd call it. And
I don't know if I may have gotten that. I can't remember.
In Hades, and what the final ultimate ending?
Yeah.
Spoiler for Hades 1, the ultimate final ending is when you convince the gods to come down to Hades.
Okay. I'm not sure if I did that or not.
You have to beat the game like a lot to do it.
Or it's like 20 different multipliers or something like that. I was trying to do a bunch of multipliers.
It's just like one last little cutscene that finally like reunites the gods and Hades, and they put their differences aside. It's wonderful. I loved it so much. But Hades 2, after beating it, I'm like really tempted to just drop it and not touch it anymore, which is not the case with Hades 1, where I just was like, I'm going to extract every ounce of game here.
We have like two weapons I really like using in this one, but there's a couple I did really like in Hades 1, but
yeah, I definitely had like a favorite in both games, but the game's great. I mean, I love the bosses. It's a lot of fun. The runs are really fun. I found myself getting kind of tired of the format of the run to the surface.
I can get you on that one.
I think the run to Hades, the Kronos run, is a lot more fun. It feels like they spend a lot more time making the run more fun. Like, I love each area, I think, does a good job at being different in a way that, like, I enjoy being in each one.
Yeah, I can see that. Because the first one is like super easy, but you just have to take so much time just to get like 5 different boons and then like leave. And
at first I really liked the city of Ephyra, which you're in like a closed area, and then you get your choice of 5 out of like maybe 9 to 10 different options. But after doing it over and over again, it's really the second area, the sea voyage part, that to me feels really tedious, and
if it wasn't like
feels like you have less choices.
Yeah, well, you left or right, but if you're also just stuck on the ship for like a same ship for a while, where you think you go one ship at a time or something like that,
and then a lot of the time you don't even get a choice. You just have to go to another ship. Like, you don't get you don't get like a boon from it. You like the icon showing in the next area is just an arrow, and there's something just like very like player killing. Whereas like the beauty of Hades 1, and this game kind of does it too, is like there's almost there's no good time to stop playing, because when you do a run, you die, and then immediately you start a new run again, and the first thing you get is your first boon, and then your brain is already thinking like, oh, okay, this is a Zeus boon. That means I can go for like Demeter, and I already picked up the Zeus. So you immediately start to build the run in your head, and then when I'm not seeing the next like item upgrade, I'm like, do I really want to go? I don't really care about this run anymore.
Yeah, I can get that, especially with certain. Yeah, you get like you don't get the really good gods that you do all that stuff. But like
there are some gods that are certainly like worse than others.
I got like the I always call him Vulcan, because that's what he is in like the Roman
Hephaestus,
mythology.
Yeah.
And I had a run. Your attacks do explosive damage every like 10 seconds. I got enough like like pomegranates to upgrade to every 2 seconds.
Yes,
and
I
I just shredded the run. It wasn't even hard after that.
I love that so much. I love when you can get multiple of that. Like you can get it on like your special on your attack.
Well, then I had the duo one of like it triggers twice. It can trigger twice a chance pretend, and I said it wasn't like that hard of a run. But if I get like a run where like it's mainly like Aphrodite and like I don't get like
Apollo can be a crapshoot sometimes. If you don't get his good boons,
I don't get Hestia. Like I'll get like
Hestia is a necessary one. Her boons are really good.
But like
also I can't. I mean I'm talking negative, but I love the art. I love the story. Yeah. Ultimately, I'm just kind of confused at a lot of the choices that were made in the story. But looking at it from like sort of a aerial view once I finish the game, I'm just kind of like, why was that character in this game? Like that's like my thought for a few things.
And there's characters that show up like rarely, like on certain areas. Like I want to see Hercules show up a little bit more. Like I want to see like Athena show up a little.
Why was Hercules
Artemis like has not shown up for me in like ages. Like I'm like
Artemis was one that like I would see like so seldom. But also there was a time where I was only doing surface runs and she doesn't really show up on those ever.
I've been doing more like the Chronos runs, but I need to like start splitting them up more. But yeah, I was just like. I want to see some of these characters more, so it happens sometimes, but like some other character from other places will pop up inside your hub. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I want to see more of this, and then like, I don't see that as much, or like have a god visit.
It's really weird because like in a lot of ways, Hades 2 feels like an improvement to Hades 1, but I don't know. I think cohesively, Hades 1 is just better for me in the terms of like how emotionally invested I was in the story. I was so invested in the story of Hades 1.
Yeah,
I thought it was just beautiful, and like this quest of like trying to get to your mother over and over again, and like when you do get to the surface, you only get to spend like brief moments with her, and then like that final like. I don't know, just like that final spoilers for Hades 1, the final boat ride when you get to take like from Persephone's home on the surface to hell again and bring her back home is just so incredible. And like I can't say that this game gets halfway near that. Yeah,
because you do the up run, you meet up with Zeus and them. It's like but there's never really any because Zeus is Zeus and everything, and Hera they do that arguing couple that that's bad for each other. But like when you go to the Chronos route and you actually talk to your brother in the mirror, it's like I love those a lot.
Yeah, Zagreus is a character that I just want to see more of. He's so fun, and the voice acting is great, but the voice actor for Zagreus is just fucking amazing.
Like I want to see I love my favorite I like what do you call it? You're basically your Hades, your mentor is Hecate.
Yeah.
And like their relationship is great, and she's like always calls her mother. Like I'm not your mother. Like I just use you. Like I understand why you use me for this. Like and I respect that, and you're my mom essentially. Like I know you're not my mom, but you raised me essentially.
Yeah. Like the Milanoe was literally like a newborn baby when she was taken from hell.
Like I love even like the other like the social links essentially. Like you keep going Nemesis up, and she warms up to you. It's really good. Like I love that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I have a lot that are unfinished, and like I just don't have any interest in going back and finishing.
I don't even know if there's like a romance like chart like it was in like Hades 1, because like you had to wait to get the end of it, and like they just keep going. It's not like a 10 heart thing. It just keeps going. I feel.
Yeah, and there were a lot of options too. I'm assuming it's probably Moros, Icarus, Nemesis. That's what I'm assuming are probably maybe Eris.
I think Eris. Maybe yeah.
Eris is my favorite. I fucking love Eris in this game.
I don't know. She loves Echo so much. I see she just wants to like smooch Echo.
Nah, she's in hell. Echo can't go to the crossroads.
She wants to get her to the cross. Bring her out, bring her back.
Bring her back.
Narcissus.
Narcissus, obviously not.
But like I don't know. Cause I don't think I've really looked to see if like the little boon thing has a little like summon thing on the bottom like they did in the first game. You could like summon like the romance options in the first game.
Oh, I don't remember that.
If you romance them, you would get a little like summon of them. You could like summon Sanatos, Meg.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Once again, the first game was
the dude with the rock. Good. I think you could romance.
Oh, Sisyphus.
I think you can romance.
Could you really?
I think
Boldy?
So. You also could get you can get to him. Not you can give nectar to Boldy. I know you can, but you can see him in the second game too. The boulder. Yeah, he's like where Hades is chained up. You can see the boulder right behind.
Oh my god, I totally missed Boldy.
That's the room they're in. That's in the prison room.
God damn.
That's literally because he's locked up there too.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that. I love Sisyphus.
Cronus also yells at you if you pause the game.
That's really fun. Yeah.
Very funny.
So yeah, pretty mixed thoughts about Hades 2. I mean, I really liked it a lot.
I have to wait till I beat it to really understand.
Try not to say too much about it, but
I'm so curious.
I have Silksong to go back to, and I'm jumping right back into that bad boy. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if I don't know what I'm gonna play after I finish Hades 2.
I have to plan for like the next 3 games ahead because there's so many games. I really, you know what? I'm just gonna pull the trigger and probably get that Danganronpa game. The
V2 redone?
No, the 100 line.
Oh.
The new Danganronpa game that's not Danganronpa that no one's talking about. That's apparently really good.
I'd take that, and maybe I'll actually get dive in 13 Sentinels.
You should. It's a really good game. Well, speaking of Vanillaware too.
I also wish they didn't fear PC releases so I could play it on PC and not on my Switch. Cause I don't have to worry about my Switch like imploding.
You're playing on your Switch?
Hades 2 runs great on my Switch 1.
Oh, wait, no. What are you... You're playing 13...
I have it on PS4, but I also could just get it on Switch.
Oh, it's on Switch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that company hates the PC.
Yeah, Vanillaware doesn't really do PC games. It's really weird. Wish they would. There
are a couple of games that I'm looking at. Even like the one early access game, the one like Stardew Valley, like I've been playing, is going to be full access by like early next year, which is cool to see. Like an early access game I've actually been enjoying and liking the content updates for. It's going to be cool to see.
But, yeah, I've never done that before.
And I don't know. I'm gonna try to beat it. I'm gonna see how it. I won't really play it at night before I go to bed. I do like a run or like half a run before I feel tired. I had a couple before, but I nodded off a couple times in a run.
I know.
Bed,
I hate when I do that.
I'm like, I just took so many hits there. I did a run.
That.
I think my proudest run so far was like doing a run where I kept the Arachne outfit the entire time. She didn't say anything about it afterwards, sadly. But
that
like,
sucks.
She only mentioned like when I met her, like you should get to keep this one to the end.
That's
like,
crazy.
Cool.
I've tried that. I cannot. I had
a really good armor build, and I had the one keepsake that like gives you armor every room.
That's really good.
And I had also if you just get like the Mercury or Hermes upgrade that gives you like more money, like we find like I found that Boon 1 that had that, and I just had so much money by the end
because it's like a 30% increase or something.
It's insane. Like
that's really good. It's fun. I really like these games. They're really, really good. I love Hades 1 though so much.
I'm interested to see how it ends, just to see how it goes at the end. But all right, that it for Hades 2 talk?
Yeah, I think we should just end it.
All right, if you like this episode, I'll plug it up actually. I gotta say that before I say that. If you like the episode, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, anything that helps the podcast. Tell a friend. You can also follow the podcast wherever. You guys check out Jim mentioned earlier his other podcast is Crystal Men. If you're interested in Steven Universe, because you guys just came back with that, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, because Steven Universe come back or something, or you just...
So no, it's not coming back, but there's a new series that was announced.
Oh, okay.
Also, this is unrelated, but Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, is going to be doing a Moomin movie. Moomin, the class. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
the classic Swedish children's book. They look like white hippos.
Okay,
you've definitely seen them before.
Sure.
But it's a beloved children's book series.
I think I've seen the guys before in something.
That is I don't know anything about it. I think they're like trolls or something.
I've seen the white Crete hippos things before.
They're the kind of character that like exploded in popularity just due to their design. Like Finnish. Sorry, it's Finnish.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, it's just a cute little thing. I'm very excited to see a feature film from Becca Sugar. That's incredible. But yeah, so...
And then next month we'll have JoJo back, so if you want your name shouted out at the beginning of the episode, leave whatever you feel comfortable leaving that you won't be missing on our Patreon. And I think that's everything, and I guess have a happy Halloween, because I guess it's going to be released around Halloween time, so I want you all to have a very... spooky, creepy
Halloween.
And yeah, we will see you next time in, I guess, November when the new chapter comes.
Yeah, we'll see you in November. Halloween or Turkey Month.
Gobble gobble.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.